Good evening, Ohio Harness Racing fans. We are in my hometown, Champaign County, Urbana. I'm a little biased, I'll admit it, but I think this is one of the best nights of racing we have on tap outside of Delaware, of course. We have 11 Buckeye Stallion Series 2-year-old pacers, both filly and colts, coming at you. I'm Ashley Daly. Beside me, I have Susan, after a big trip to the Hambo over the weekend.
Nice to be here in Urbana, though. It's just a beautiful night. Absolutely great.
And we are already rolling. Here is our post parade for the first race.
First division for $20,000. Sponsored by Memorial Health. Austin Hanners to drive the 3. Note to 7, Dragon Shadow. Be a second-tier start for the 7, Dragon Shadow. And these are the horses for tonight's first race. Number 1 is Real Haas, the driver Trevor Smith. Number 2, Stoke the Fire, Dan Noble drives. The 3 is Odds on Ray, drivers change to Austin Hanners. Number 4, Catch the Killer, driven by Chris Page. 5, Barcelona Legend, Brett Miller. Number 6 is Larry Legend with King Kaufman. And number 7, Dragon Shadow, Justin Irvine in the sulky.
So we're probably going to have a little bit longer scores before we go to the gate, just because this is a big fair and we wager quite a lot this evening. A huge crowd that is very into races. Of course, outside of just the Buckeye Stallion Series, we host our Chamber Night, our Champaign County Chamber Night here, and I don't know if you'll eventually see it in the camera view or not, but the crowd is huge and they show up for it.
And we are sitting right in front of all of the prizes that they have gathered for this night. And my gosh, there's, I don't know, 6, 7 TVs and a lot of other stuff. So it's pretty nice that the community joins in for this chamber night.
And usually this night is on Tuesday. This is the first year that we're hosting it on our first night of racing, which is, of course, Monday. And we were hoping that the crowd would realize that, and I think they did.
Yes,
they
absolutely.
showed up. Huge night, though. I'm so excited. I'm biased, but we have some really, really great races this evening. And our 2-year-old colt pacers are up first. We do score 6 wide here at Champaign County. I guess some housekeeping before Susan and I go ahead and introduce the fields. Head on over to harnessracingohio.com to view those programs. So as we go through the night, you're going to want to check out what we are seeing as well.
We've got some drivers here since Scioto is closed tonight. Got a lot of drivers here that we could normally be racing at Scioto, so kind of another nice reason to go on a Monday is people here in the stands get to see some of those drivers that they don't see at the fairs very often.
Right. We do only have a couple changes. You did, of course, catch Doug tell you that Austin Hanners is now slated on the 3. So he said just a couple minutes till post, so I'll go ahead and start introducing. On the rail, we have Real Haas, Trevor Smith, now up for Scott Mogan. This is a Fool Me Once gelding, owned and bred by Richard Noel of Michigan. 2 lifetime starts, both in the Buckeye Stallion Series. He's had some tough luck, but tonight he's finally getting some post relief. His last start at Scioto in the BSS, he did time a mile in 1:55.3, final quarter in 29.3. However, earlier on in the year, when he first started getting started in his qualifiers, he showed pretty decent closing speed, especially that early. 27 flat for his very first qualifier, final quarter.
And the 2 is Stoke the Fire, Dan Noble up for trainer Scott Cox. Terry Mount Pleasant is the leasee of this Catch the Fire gelding out of a Western Ideal mare, Nyan Hanover. 3 starts on the year, 1 win. That was in the Buckeye Stallion Series last start at Scioto Downs. 53-1. Won by a nose, came home in 27-3, but 2 starts back, finished second in an overnight race, 54-2, came home in 27 flat.
Austin Hanners is now up on Odds on Ray for Virgil Morgan Jr. This is a down by the Seaside colt, owned by Odds on Racing of Boca Raton, Florida. Last start out at the BSS, had a second place finish in 1:53 flat.
And Catch the Killer with Chris Page for trainer Darren Harvey, Wayne Mass, and Eden Akers. They are going to the gates, so we'll just keep on going right down with them.
Brett Miller up for Darren Dowler on the 5. Barcelona Legend, 2 back, had a mile and 1:53 and 1.
Larry Legend, King Kaufman up for trainer Chris Schwartz and Morrison Racing. Last start in the Buckeye finished 4th. Paces mile and 53 and 3.
And rounding out the field, the 7 on the second tier, Justin Irvine on Dragon's Shadow for Rosie Weaver. Last start out in the BSS had a 4th and 1, 54 and 4 final quarter and 28 and 2. Doug Ballinger with the call of the first.
They were off and pacing, going right out to the front. Real Haas on the inside. Stroke the Fire comes out in second. Racing 3 wide. Odds on Ray. 4 wide into the turn. That's Barcelona Legend. Taking a tuck 5th. Catch the Killer. Larry Legend second to last, and 7th to last is Dragon Shadow. Down the backside for the first time. Going to the opening quarter, and the battle's on. Going 3 wide to the quarter. Barcelona Legend on the outside. Brett Miller. They're going at it. Stroke the Fire the inside. Dan Noble, Real Haas behind those dueling leaders 3rd. Odds on Ray is 4th. They step by the opening quarter. They're by the quarter in 28 and a 5th. Around the turn, Catch the Killer is 5th. Larry Legend is 6th, and trailing up field, Dragon Shadow. Field is 7, past the stand for the first time. Coming on over to the halfway point. On top of the field as they come to the half, leading away. Stoke the Fire, Dan Noble. The 2-hole trip to Barcelona Legend and Brett Miller. Right there, 3rd, a handful. Real Haas for Trevor Smith. First up on the outside, Larry Legend into the turn, stacked up 3rd over Dragon Shadow. Up the inside, Odds on Ray. Shuffle last is Catch the Killer. They're halfway home in 57 and 3. Across the backside for the final time. Stoke the Fire leads the way. Real Haas the outside 2nd. Barcelona Legend is 3rd. Larry Legend is 4th. Tucked to the inside, Odds on Ray 5th. Racing 6th to the outside, Dragon Shadow, and Catch the Killer trails the field. They're into the far turn. Still there, Stoke the Fire, and Dan Noble off 3 quarters, 127 and 1. Barcelona Legend is 2nd. Real Haas the outside 3rd. The inside, Odds on Ray will need room. Between horses is Real Haas. Dragon Shadows on the grandstand side. They're off the turn. They're on their way home. It's Stoke the Fire. Stoke the Fire opening up with each and every stride. Battle for 2nd. Up for 2nd. Catch the Killer. Home 3rd. Odds on Ray. 156.
Off to a very nice start. They wanted the front, right? We were 3
Everybody
wide there for a moment. How exciting. 156 flat. We had to double check there. The track record for 2-year-old colts is 155, so we might be in that territory tonight by all means.
Very well could be. It was 155. That was I So Wanna Pet Rock from back in 2019, so it has been held for a while.
We're a little bit before the finish line, but I do think unofficial, I'm going to call it 2-4-3-5. Stoke the Fire. That is 2 in a row for Stoke the Fire. Of course, that last start out was in the Buckeye Stallion Series at Scioto Downs. Will not be a lifetime mark because Scioto goes a touch faster.
I did notice that. Look at most of these colts and fillies that are in tonight. They are much more lightly raced than the ones we see at most of the county fairs. These Buckeye Stallion Series horses just raced a couple of starts other than the Buckeye Stallion Series, so a little bit different.
So that was just the 4th lifetime start for our winner. So he has now won half of all of his purse starts and just tacked on another $10,000 to his bankroll. Originally a $12,000 purchase out of the Buckeye Classic, and now has $24,000 in the bank.
And going into tonight, he is sitting 4th in the Buckeye Stallion Series standings for 2-year-old colt pacers.
You went to the first race. Buckeye Stallion Series, first division for 2-year-old colt pacers, sponsored by Memorial Health. Number 2, Stoke the Fire. The 2-year-old bay goes to the son of Catch the Fire out of the Western Oldale mare. Nanya Hanover, 2nd win in 4 tries this year. Terry Mount Pleasant, Jamestown, Ohio, the Lisi. Scott Cox trains Dan Noble in the sulky. Home a winner, 156.
course, we will wait for that official rundown. I think the only hiccup we had in that race.
Results are official for the first. Number 1, Real Haas 7. 2, Stoke the Fire, the winner. The 3, Odds on Ray 3. Number 4, Catch the Killer 2. By Barcelona Legend finished 4th. 6, Larry Legend 5, and number 7, Dragon Shadow was 6th. The winning time 1:56. Fractional times 28 and 1, 57 and 3, 1:27 and 1. Top down read 713, 245, 6 on the bottom. The winner returns 540, 280 and 280, exacta 24, $33.60. Let's go grandstand side with our
5
first.
or 6 more drives tonight, so we'll see how we can keep going. Some of these guys have a lot of drives in tonight. Chris Page has got 8. Brett Miller's got 8. Austin Hanner's 6. And Tyler Smith 7. So they're going to be busy drivers.
And like you mentioned, we are not competing with Scioto Downs by any means tonight. So that is going to really, not really throw a wrench into things by any means, but make this county fair racing a little bit different.
Yeah. And because it's all Buckeye Stallion Series tonight, you're going to get those drivers because they
want to make their money too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Turning the page, we're going to kind of flip-flop all night. Of course, that first race was the freshman Colt Pacers. The next race up is going to be freshman Philly Pacers. Of course, that purse for $20,000. If you're following along in the program, I have no changes for you. So a field of 8. We're going to have 2 trailers in this next race, but Susan and I will introduce you to the field after a brief message from our sponsors.
Dublin Valley Farms, home of Volstead Sire of 2024 Ohio Horse of the Year Sugar Instead. Also standing at Dublin Valley Farms, Slay, a promising young son of Chapter 7 and Coach K Hanover by world record holder Walner. Looking for your next winner? Dublin Valley Farms and our clients are offering an exciting lineup of yearlings with current and fashionable pedigrees. Available at public auctions this year. Backed by a team that cares, Dublin Valley Farms, Fredericksburg, Ohio. At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year, providing advanced specialty care for sports horses from all stages and disciplines. Our expert team of boarded surgeons and sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sports horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at BigD'sWeb.com. Sign up for text messaging and receive $10 off your order. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Now that is what I call a T-shirt toss.
I know.
Gosh, I think they got the whole high school baseball team out here, and they're throwing them. I mean, it's not 1 or 2. They've thrown 30 of them already, at least, wouldn't you say?
I wish we took like a tally at the door. How many people are here tonight?
Oh, yeah.
We've got quite a few in the grandstand here. Our grandstand here at Urbana is big anyway, but there are a lot of people in the grandstand, but the place to be seems to be the apron.
Yeah, yes.
It is very full. Matt, so you can probably pick it up, right? They can see it. People bringing their own chairs and everything else.
And they were here early.
Yep.
I mean, it was almost a little bit Delaware-ish, where we had the chairs just stacked up by the fence. I think they like it being down by the betting windows, too, because they don't have far to walk to place the next bet.
So we're pretty proud. We handle a lot of money here compared to a lot of outside of Delaware. Delaware is a different game. Is that really a county fair? Sure, but no. And so the crowd just gets so into it, and we're very lucky. We have our fair board supports us 110%, and there's just quality horsemen here that make that connection with that fair board that much easier. Of course, we train here year-round. My mom, straight across the backside there, that's her barn. We have Rachel Onima here, Brian Roebuck, who has a handful himself, and over in the last turn. But historically, it used to be a draft horse barn, but now it's been a race horse barn forever and a day, and that is where the Swartzes are. Deb and Russ, that's where they are, and I know that I'm forgetting some. Oh, the Alexanders are here. Cassandra is here. She's newer. I don't think she has any babies, but we've got quite a lot of horsemen here. The Rose used to stable here until the last couple of years. They built their own home track as well.
Well, it is. It's a very nice track, and when you've got this many horsemen here, then there's a lot of people to help take care of it, which makes it even better.
Absolutely, and we try to take care of the horsemen today. We about 5 o'clock or so, a little bit before post time, we cooked out. We had a grill out, and it was free if anybody wanted to give us a couple donations. We much appreciated it, but we cooked hamburgers and hot dogs. Really, it was Kevin Snyder. I think the idea was it to be out of Horseman's money, but I think the Daily Stable ended up just taking hold of it and do it. It was a little bit of a last-second thought process, but we cooked up some good stuff. And Randy Leopard and his wife, Tia, they own Mumford's Potato Chips Company, the deli that's right here in Urbana. If you've never been, I highly suggest, if you're ever around the area, go to Mumford's. And she made her very good brownies. Matt, you can attest. You were back there and had some food. You had macaroni, didn't you?
I did have the macaroni. Very good.
And we have
that was right in back of your brand new speed office.
Yes, I was going to say, we have a brand new speed office this year that just got finished, maybe 2 days, maybe even just a day before our fair opened up. Randy Leopard really spearheaded that for us as well. It's an old silo. That's what it is. It's that kind of it's a round building, right between where Jimmy Byers has a couple horses in our barn, and I think Randy Leopard heard that they were a local farmer was going to tear down a silo. He said, "Hey, if I get that, can I use it?" And the farmer's like, "Yeah, if you want it, you can definitely have it." And it's so nice inside. I was surprised. We've got a nice little AC unit. So Lisa's up back in there. Our bedding window's back there for the horsemen, and it's the real deal.
Oh, gosh, even a bedding window in it.
Yep.
That is nice. I noticed it had quite a few windows around it, so that was pretty neat. And it looks like it's more than an octagon. I mean, it's like there's maybe 10 sides to it or whatever. That's really nice, the improvements. I was walking around the backside, or the fairgrounds, and I saw what looked like a pretty new rabbit barn.
We have a lot of new buildings
in
the last 5 years. Champaign County is huge. If you've never been here, of course, we have our horse racing, and that's really all we see on air. But I grew up doing this. This was my Christmas for a week out of the year. And the 4-H program, FFA program, is massive. And I'm hoping to have a representative, I guess is the best way to put it, come up and tell us about that, because it is very prominent even on the state fair level. We had the multiple years, the Levan family were very big into steers. And this year, once again, we had the Grand Champion Steer. We had the Grand Champion and Reserve Dairy, like you name it. There's a lot of competition here at Champaign County.
I think we're about ready for the post parade. Yes, Del Moldenhauer, this is a little bit like Delaware. Cindy says she got Mansfield on the TV and Urbana on the phone.
Oh, we are at Mansfield tonight, aren't we?
Yeah.
What time was that post? 5:30?
I think it was 6, if I remember right.
Horses are on the track for the second race. Third leg Buckeye Stallion Series for 2-year-old filly pacers. This division for $20,000. Blanket by Sylvester. A field of 8. Number 1, Jimmy Amanda. The driver, Tyler Smith. Number 2, Katie's on Fire, driven by Austin Hanners. 3, Stride for Stride, Justin Irvine drives. Number 4, Foolish Betrayal with LeWayne Miller. 5, Cruising to the Pier, Chris Page drives. Number 6 is Naughty Sea Star with driver Brett Miller. 7, Eyes Up, driven by Dan Noble. And number 8 is Strong Proof. King Kaufman is in her sulky. Win Place Show. Exacta Quinella, trifecta on the second.
Got quite a few to introduce in this field of 8. So on the rail, Tyler Smith looked like he might have had his hands full here, just all the crowd that's going on. This is Jamie Amanda for Virgil Morgan Jr., a down by the seaside filly. 3 lifetime starts, 2 wins, 1 second place finish. She has raced in both legs of the Buckeye Stallion Series. The very first leg, she was a winner in 1:56.4, final quarter in 29.1. She is owned by Let It Ride Stables, Odds On Racing, and Virgil Morgan has $21,000 in the bank.
Katie's on Fire in Austin Hanners from the 2-hole for trainer Todd Luther, owner Greg Luther Racing LLC. A Catch the Fire out of a Real Artist mare, Real Lady Katie. 7 starts on the year, 3 wins, and those have all been at the county fairs. 1 at Wapakoneta last week in 2. Also won at Washington Courthouse in 2, 1, and 3, and her lifetime mark at Wilmington, 2 minutes flat.
Our 3-horse, Justin Irvine, up for Gary Miller. Stride for Stride, a lather up filly owned by Gary and B. Kleinberg Racing. I believe New Jersey and Lee. Is it Unkeffer? Unkeffer. My apologies if I pronounced that wrong, but we are 3 seasonal starts with 2 wins. Most recently had a win at Northfield in the Fair Stakes in 1:56.3. Do want to mention she started earlier at Northfield in a Buckeye Stallion Series race, just out of the money with a 6th place finish. But even though she was 6, she was only 6 by 2 lengths. So it was a very, very tight one there for her. Almost $12,000 made. Originally a purchase out of the Ohio, selected for $14,000.
Foolish Bee Trail coming over from Hoosier Park. Lee Wayne Miller drives and trains for Anthony Formosa from Southgate, Michigan. A Fool Me Once filly out of a Mr. Feelgood mare, Just a Bee. Just 1 lifetime start that was at Hoosier, and a fillies and mares, now winners at 2. Finished 4th, but did Pacer Mile in 56.2. Came home 27.3.
Cruising to the pier, Chris Page up for Ron Steck, another one that has started in both legs of the Buckeye Stallion Series. Made a little bit more money in the first leg up at Northfield. And that would have been mid-July the 14th. Had a 3rd place finish there in 1:57.1, final quarter 28.3. And that is the only time that she has hit the board in just 2 lifetime starts.
Naughty Sea Star and Brett Miller for trainer Johnson Hill Jr. and Brent Tartar. This is a down by the seaside filly out of Western Ideal mare, Naughty Till the End. Has been racing down in Kentucky in those Kentucky Sire Stakes. Just had a couple qualifiers up here and has 1 start in the Ohio Sire Stakes at Scioto Downs. Finished 6th, but Pacer Mile in 54.1.
Right, but your company matters in those instances, right? Our 7-horse, starting again from the 2nd tier, is Eyes Up. Dan Noble slated for Deb Schwartz. This is going to be some home track rooting here. This is a lather up filly owned by Harry and Darlene Alltop of Urbana, Ohio. She is undefeated in the BSS. She's trying to go 3 for 3 here. Over $20,000 made, of course, with a lifetime mark up at Northfield in 1:54.4.
Strong Proof and Kane Kaufman from the 8-hole in the 2nd tier. Kane is also the trainer for Pinehurst Racing Partners, Pinehurst, North Carolina. A summa cum laude started twice in the Buckeye Stallion Series.
Here we go. 2 from the 2nd tier, a field of 8. This is our first division of 2-year-old filly pacers. Buckeye Stallion Series. Here is Doug.
Off stride the 8 before the start. They were off then pacing. That's Jamie Amanda going right out to the front. Stride for Stride on the outside. Irvine wants the front end, racing 2nd into the turn. That is Katie's On Fire, racing 3rd from the 2nd tier. Eyes Up. Foolish Betrayal is next in 5th. Racing 6th is cruising to the pier. Then comes Naughty Sea Star and trailing the field. Strong Proof as they head up the backside. Jamie Amanda, Tyler Smith lead the way. The 2-hole trip to Stride for Stride. Racing 3rd, Katie's On Fire into the turn. Eyes Up, racing 4th. Racing 5th is cruising to the pier. Off an opening quarter in 28 and a 5th as they race around the turn. Naughty Sea Star racing next and trailing the field. Strong Proof into the lane first time. Come to the half. No movement as yet to go after the leader. The leader is Jamie Amanda, Tyler Smith. Stride for Stride right there 2nd. Racing 3rd as they come on over the halfway point. That is Katie's On Fire. Tipping to the outside. Eyes Up and Dan Noble. Foolish Betrayal will of the cover into the turn. Moving to the outside is cruising to the pier. Then comes Naughty Sea Star, trailing a field strong proof. 56-3 for the half. On to the backside, they go for the final time. Guiding the fillies to 3/4. Jamie Amanda right there second. Stride for Stride will not move. Eyes Up is on the outside. Stride for Stride now buried for Irvine third. They near 3/4. Up the inside is Katie's on Fire. Moving to the outside, cruising to the pier, and Chris Page now fifth, now fourth on the outside. 3/4 and 127-3. Jamie Amanda opens up to 3, but here comes Stride for Stride, and Justin Irvine trying to reel her in. They're off the turn, they're on their way home. Jamie Amanda, Stride for Stride on the outside, just keeps on coming on the outside. Stride for Stride, Justin Irvine. Eyes Up second, very tight for the show position. Either Katie's on Fire or cruising to the pier. The mile, 1:55, 4/5.
1:55, 4/5. Is that in our filly track record range?
That is a new one.
That is a new one. By quite a bit. Originally set a couple years ago, our filly, 2-year-old filly pace was Naked on a Hill in 2023, 1:57 flat. So we do break that by more than a second. I will say, though, I don't know if anybody else caught it. In that final turn, I thought our 3-horse, our winner, made a funky step. Did you see that right before the 1-horse? So our 1-horse did run, and I thought our 3 kind of made a funky step there, but I don't know if anybody else caught that on our camera view or not. But Shuts Out, Eyes Up, who was previously undefeated in the Buckeye Stallion Series. She still put in a very nice mile. It wasn't easy coming first up for her. But Justin really gave that horse a nice pocket trip and popped exactly when he needed to.
It's so strange whenever they say Stride for Stride, because I think, Roger Houston uses that all the time. Stride for Stride, toe to toe, and I always think I don't connect it to the horse's name yet.
This is 3 in a row for Stride for Stride. The previous 2 wins have come both on fair stakes at Painesville and Norfield Park. Now in 4 lifetime starts, has 3 wins, but almost more than, not quite doubles her lifetime earnings, but that's still a nice $10,000 paycheck.
One of the second. First Division 2-year-old filly pace, Buckeye Stallion Series for $20,000. Sponsored by Sylvester Bank. Number 3, Stride for Stride. 2-year-old Bay Phillippa Lather Up out of the Sun Beach Somewhere mare. Serene Stride, her 3rd of the season. She's owned by Gary Martin, Jefferson, Ohio. Pete Kleinberg, Madison, New Jersey. L.J. Unfiker of Ohio. Gary Martin trains Justin Irvine in the sulky. The mile, 1:55, 4/5 is a new track record for 2-year-old filly pacers here at the Champaign County Fair. Set in 2023 of 157. Jeff Nysonger and Naked on a Hill. Tonight, the second race. Stride for Stride, First Division, Buckeye Stallion Series, Justin Irvine. A new track record for filly pacers, 1:55-4.
Pays $10.40 to win.
Maybe we should have the rundown for you in just a second. I see Doug looks like he's writing. Where we are, we can see right across and into the judges' stand.
7. 2 Katie's on Fire, 4. The 3 Stride for Stride, the winner. 4 Foolish Betrayal, 6. Number 5 Cruising to the Pier, 3. 6 Naughty Sea Star, 5. 7 Eyes Up, 2. Number 8 Strong Proof Finish, 8. The winning time 1:55 4/5. Through fractions of 28-1, 56-3, 1:27-3. Rechecking 741, 635, 2, 8 on the bottom. Third race is up next. A field of 7, no changes. You'll have win, place, show, exact equinox.
I do think our second tier starters might be messing with a couple of these horses. In the first race, we had a break behind the gate with Rosie Weavers, and the 8 did break behind the gate there for Kane. So we're at second tier for these 2-year-olds, especially on a track like this. Like, I get it, you know, it's a half mile, like Northfield is a half mile, but it's still different. It's totally different at a county fair.
Absolutely. Interesting with this 2-year-old filly Pacers, the past record holders. I mean, it went from 2016. Marvelous with Josh Sutton went 58-1. 2020 that was tied twice, and then 2023 Dan Noble again went in 58-1. So we had 4 horses that hit exactly 58-1. Then it dropped down to 57, and now it was I don't know. I can't see how they can beat this again. 55-4.
We say that every year, though.
Yeah, you're right.
We say it every year, and this breed just gets. You can't wrap your head around how fast some of these 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds, but 2-year-olds are going. And this track they put a lot of work. So I should thank the Swartzes too. They've been really doing the track this week and being on top of it. We actually, right in front of the grandstand here last night, we have our calf and pig scramble, and we crown our queen on Sunday night, and then afterward we do our big calf and pig scramble, and they completely drench the track here because it's the point is like to chase the pig in the mud, right? And I got a little nervous, like, because we've never held BSS the night after, and I was like, it'll be fine, but the track is good. We have no issues there. We just broke a track record, right?
Yeah. And it was interesting because 2 of the horses in that last race, well, we know Eyes Up was sitting first, and Jamie Amanda were sitting second in those Buckeye Stallion series, which you can find on OHHA.com if you go to the racing tab. And then you have to do a little bit of search criteria, but you can find any of the standings that you want at OHHA.com in the racing tab.
Turning the page, we're going to go back to freshman Colt Pacers. Race 3, a field of 7. Join us back here after a brief message.
Hi, I'm Dean Gillespie, and I want to tell you about the Ohio Colt Racing Association. There's 19 member fairs, and they sponsor the Partial Futurity in Greenville, Ohio. You need to race in the OCRA. Great racetracks, great people. Bring the kids and come out to the fair, and remember, fair time is fun time.
Make summer memories this year at the Ohio County Fairs. The Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association will be live streaming every race this year, and we want you to be there. Be a part of the excitement with the 2025 Ohio County Fair Racing Passport. Stop by the OHHA broadcast location in the grandstand to pick up your passport and stamp. Get stamps at every fair you attend. Prizes will be awarded to those that attend the most racing programs. Get your passport at the first fair you attend or call the OHHA office at 614-221-3650. Harness Racing, the fastest ride at the fair.
Headed next into race 3 of 11. What a beautiful night. If you've joined us in previous years, you'll remember that Urbana usually has a monsoon at least one day of racing. But our forecast looks pretty good, at least tonight. At least tonight it's cooling off, and I actually can't believe the kind of weather we've had in the last few days. It's it's been scorching hot or raining like crazy, especially on this side of the state. And even at Chillicothe, we had great weather. Yesterday was the only fair I did, and back here I've got no complaints.
Yeah, it is a wonderful day. I was lucky enough to go out to the Hambletonian this weekend, and it was great out there too for the huge crowd that they had there at the Hambo.
Will you tell us about your Hambo experience?
It was fun. It was fun. We took my 2 grandsons, my daughter and I took our 2 grandsons, and I think that the older one, he's 9.5. He enjoyed it. He knew kind of what it was about. The 5-year-old just wanted to play games. That was kind of all he wanted to do. But we did have a really great time. We also went to Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty, so got a little history in there, which is always good. But a great facility, the Meadowlands. They did things up. They had a really nice autograph session with the drivers and the trainers that were in the hambo and had been in past hambos, and you're never going to guess who showed up. Ron Pierce showed up. Yeah, I'm not sure how they got him to come from Montana back to New Jersey, but he was there and said that he really enjoyed it. So it was a very nice event. Very nice. Did it up good.
Was that your first time at the Hamiltonian?
No, I was there quite a few years ago, but I was with the Harness Horse Youth Foundation at that time, so I didn't really get to see much of it.
And HHYF, I think I saw on their Facebook. Did they go back out? Did they have a couple ponies or something?
They were there. Homer was there. Homer is a gray 19-year-old pony that's been with them for many, many years. Taught a lot of kids, and he stood there all day long. Muscle Hill was there in the grandstand, so that was pretty cool.
Did they have somebody post parade? Was there a post parade pony?
Market share.
Yes.
Post paraded, and at one point they had 6 standardbreds that were leading the post parade being ridden, so that was pretty cool. That was really cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah. So as I said, they do it up very nicely.
I have never been. Not even just the Hambo. I have not been to the Meadowlands, and I keep telling myself every year, okay, I'll get out there. Okay, I'll get out there. It's really not that far. It's far enough. You had grandkids in the car with you too.
The last 3 hours last night were really long.
Oh, did you get back last night?
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. But it well worth going. I mean, it's just it was I think it was a $5 admission, but everybody that had the admission got a really nice Hambo hat, 100th anniversary Hambo hat. Kids all got the little Breyer horses, the Atlanta Breyer horses, and they had a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that if you kept walking around, you'd find free stuff here and there. So it was very cool, pretty neat. Yeah,
and that's what you were doing Saturday night. But OHHA also had something going on for kids and spectators on Saturday night. But we will catch the post parade of the 3rd before we go into that.
Horses have been called for the 3rd race. Second division 2-year-old Colt Pacers Buckeye Stallion Series for $20,000. Sponsored by Bundy Baking Solutions. A field of 7. Cam McCown to drive the 7 Mr. Smarty Pants. And note the 7 Mr. Smarty Pants. It's a 2nd-tier start. And these are the horses. Number 1 is Fire the Dems. Austin Hanners drives. King Kaufman drives the 2. Nathan's Honor. Number 3 is Ultimate Catch, driven by Brett Miller. Here's the 4, Odds On RPJ, driven by Dan Noble. 5, Section Line JR, Jeff Nysunger up. 6 is Zuma Luck with Chris Presley. And number 7 is Mr. Smarty Pants, Cam McCown in the sulky. Horse to take 1 score and go to the game.
Another full field of 7 for this 2nd division of 2-year-old Colt Pacers. On the rail, Austin Hanners. On Fire the Dems, Todd Luther trains this Catch the Fire, owned by Greg Luther Racing of Blacklick, Ohio. 6 lifetime starts. He has hit the board 3 times. A single win that actually came back, a handful back at Wilmington Fair on 159-4 there. However, should mention has started both starts, or both legs, I should say, in the Buckeye Stallion Series. Placed 4th in both of those goes. Timed the better mile recently on July 25th. Scioto Downs in 153-2.
Nathan's Honor and Kane Kaufman from the 2-hole. Kane is the trainer for Pinehurst Racing Partners, Pinehurst, North Carolina. A summa cum laude colt out of a Jenna's Beach Boy mare, Natalie. Has just had the 2 starts, both of those in the Buckeye Stallion Series. Had 1/5, but that was his last start out, and did pace a mile in 55-1. Last quarter, 29-1.
Brett Miller up for Scott Cox, Ultimate Catch. 4 lifetime starts, 2 second-place finishes. Most recent second was in the Fair Stakes up at Northfield Park. However, a start before that did give it a go in the Buckeye Stallion Series at Northfield. Ended up 5th, so was in the money. Was back by quite a few lengths, but still went in 157.4. Final quarter in 29. Almost $5,000 made. Originally a $34,000 purchase out of the Buckeye Classic.
Odds on RPJ from Dan Noble from the 4-hole for Virgil Morgan Jr. and odds on racing from Boca Raton, Florida. This horse is sitting tied for third in the Buckeye Stallion Series standings. Was third last start out in the BSS at Scioto. Paces mile in 53-3 there. Start before that at Northfield won the BSS in 55-3.
And I was not paying good enough attention. I don't know if it's pronounced Section Line JR or Section Line Junior. Were you paying attention
I think
to
he
Doug?
said Junior.
Okay, we'll go with Junior. Section Line Junior, Jeff Neisonger up for Mark Winters. This is another summa cum laude out of Section Line Aqua, an Art in Major Mare owned by AWS Stables, I believe that is Stables, and Mark Winters of Sabina, of course. 6 lifetime starts, has hit the board 5 times. Recently was second at Walpock in 159-2. Almost $10,000 made, and actually lifetime mark is only in 2 minutes and 4/5, but as I mentioned, has put up quite a few miles faster than that. Some time back at Scioto, time to mile 155-1, final quarter 27.
Sue Maluk and Chris Presley from the outside, the 6-hole. Chris is the trainer for Brandon Moore and Philip Edmondson, both of them from Tennessee. A summa cum laude out of a shadow play mare, Alson Sealster. Just the 2 starts on the year, started in an overnight race at Scioto Downs, finished third in that, pace mile in 54-1, and then in the BSS also finished third, pace mile in 53-2.
Rounding out the field from the second tier, Cam McGowan now up for Brian Brown. Mr. Smarty Pants, another summa cum laude out of a roll with Joe Mayer. Roll up the rim. Has started both in the OSS and the second leg of the Buckeye Stallion Series. Time the better Maya Scioto in the BSS was 5th, so in the money, but 153-4. $3,500 made. This is just 2 lifetime starts for this gelding. Looking to hit the board, but might do it here today. Originally a $35,000 purchase out of the Ohio Selected. We're going to give it over to Doug. Call the third.
Here they come. They're off and pacing, going for the lead. Odds on RPJ from the inside. Fire the Dems, taking a tuck. Nathan's Honor racing fourth into the turn. Ultimate Catch to the outside of Ultimate Catch is Section Line JR. To the inside is Zuma Luck, and Mr. Smarty Pants trails the field. Down the backside, going to the opening quarter. Odds on RPJ and Dan Noble have a 2-length lead over Fire the Dems. Racing third, Nathan's Honor racing fourth. Ultimate Catch. Zuma Luck is 5th. Second to last, Section Line JR. And 7th and last, Mr. Smarting Pants. Straight alignment as they move into the turn. They race by the opening quarter, 28 4/5. On to the 3/8 they go with the lead as they race around the turn. Dan Noble, odds on RPJ. Fire the Dems getting the 2-hole trip. Races nose to helmet. Racing third, Nathan's Honor. Still straight alignment. No movement as yet to go after the leader. Odds on RPJ to the inside. Ultimate Catch first. The outer flow begins to develop. Zumalak is first up. Stacked up now, second over in tow. Section Line JR. And moving to the outside, he'll be third over is Mr. Smarty Pants. They're halfway home in 58 5th. And down the backside they go for the final time. Odds on RPJ leads it. Fire the Dems to the outside. Fire the Dems on the outside. Nathan's Honor is third. 3 wide Zumalak. Fourth to the inside. Ultimate Catch. Section Lane JR on the outside. Mr. Smarty Pants. They're in the depart turn. The battle's on the front end. Odds on RPJ has answered the call. Fending off Fire the Dems. 3/4. 127 4. Ultimate Catch up the inside third. Zumalak on the outside is fourth with an 1/8 of a mile to pace. Ultimate Catch is on the grandstand side. He's 3 wide and closing with every stride. Through the lane they come. Fire the Dems. Odds on RPJ coming to the line. Gonna be tight on the line. May have been on odds on RPJ. Over Ultimate Catch, it'll be a photo. Hold all tickets. Photo for win. 157-1.
What do you think?
I thought it was odds on and Dan Noble, but of course we're
a little
Not-
off.
we're a
Yeah,
little
so we
off,
are
yeah.
a little off, a little to the left of the finish line. Actually, our camera's pretty much on it, isn't it?
No, we're off a little bit.
Are we off
You're
a
off
little
a little bit too?
That's all right. So we'll wait. We'll wait for the official. That was a good race. Good
Was a good
finish,
race.
though. I really thought. Well, who was on the outside? Was it Austin? Austin on the outside there,
Mm-hmm.
on the backside, going into the final turn. Was really given a run, odds on RPJ a run for his money, but it ended up. Who was it? Brett?
I thought
Between
it
him
was
and Brett?
Yeah, we have the 4 and the 3.
PJ, the winner unofficially. Second will be the 3 Ultimate Catch. Third to 1, Fire the Dems. 4-3-1 is unofficial.
4-3-1 unofficial. 157-1. The crowd is really getting into our
They are.
finishes as well.
They really
Even
are.
to the half. I don't know if anybody could. I don't know if it picks up much of our mic. I'm sure it doesn't outside of Doug. But even at the half, they're starting to root and cheer and
Yep.
get into it.
57-1, our slowest race of the day.
I was going to say.
That's just hard to believe. We had a question. Somebody asked about Dell asked about the stakes payments and so forth. And
Moving back to the winner's circle.
Ohio's a great state because you only have to make stake payments on March 15th of their 2- and 3-year-old year. You don't have to make a bunch of payments early, so that's really nice.
Sponsored by Baking Solutions. Here's the 4, odds on RPJ. The 2-year-old Bay-Colored son of Down by the Seaside, out of the Rock and Roll Hanover mare, odds on Ashley, is owned by Odds on Racing of Boca Raton, Florida. Virgil Morgan Jr. trains Dan Noble in the sulky. Dan Noble gets his second driving win of the night here at the Champaign County Fair. Odds on RPJ. Racing a mile, 157, 1/5. This race sponsored by Bundy Baking Solutions. Here's the third race. Number 1, Fire the Dems, 3. Number 2, Nathan's Honor, 5. 3, Ultimate Catch, 2. 4, odds on RPJ, the winner. Number 5, Section Line JR, 7. 6, Zuma Luck, 6. The 7, Mr. Smarty Pants, finished 4th. The time, 157, 1/5. Fractions are 28 and 4. The half, 58 and 1. 3/4, 127 and 4. Top down reads 352, 1764 on the bottom.
I should have paid a little bit closer attention to our program, to our lines for our winner here. Odds on RPJ was a winner in the first leg of the Buckeye Stallion Series, but his second leg, he still raced really tough, was just third by a head, and really parked out, was first up for quite a bit of the mile. That was a little bit, was that technically wire to wire for Danny? You know what?
I am not sure.
Sometimes I get so into these races, I don't even know what happens 20 seconds later.
Right.
But that is 3 lifetime starts now for odds on RPJ and 2 wins, up to $22,000 now in his bank. We are just 3 races in, and Dan Noble already has a double on the card. I'm gonna say that the wagering public might catch on to that.
They might, absolutely. And I think he's got quite. I'm just wondering how many drives he has all together.
Quite a few if we know Danny, right?
7.
He's got 7
7,
of.
7, so he's had 2. Got more chances to win.
Going to flip back to Philly Pacers up next, the 4th race. You guessed it, another field of 7. Let's hear a message from our sponsors and thank them for letting us do what we do every year.
Midland Acres is proud to stand the prominent stallions, TCI, Long Tom, Ready for Money, Monty Mickey, Summa Cum Laude, and Bit of a Legend. With such great pedigree and speed in the stallion barn, Midland Acres will provide a diverse group of top yearlings in the sale ring for 2025. Visit us this fall at our consignments at the Blooded Horse Sale on August 26th, the Ohio Select Jug Sale on September 12th, and the Lexington Select Sale on September 29th through October 3rd. Let Midland Acres experience in the industry lead you to the winner's circle.
For 100 years, the values at BNSF Insurance have been clear. Do the right thing. These values have been at the forefront of what we do, and that will never change. But as the world changes, so must our business. That's why the time is right to change our name to CoverLink. When tragedy strikes, we protect our clients, we cover. And the connection of our values of doing what is right is the link. Combine the two and you get CoverLink. While our name has changed, nothing else has changed. Great service from great people. CoverLink Insurance.
This September, the thrill returns to Delaware, Ohio. It's the Little Brown Jug. World-class harness racing, heart-pounding action, and unforgettable fun. Join the tradition. Feel the roar. Be a part of history. We have several hospitality and ticket options, including the new Jug Social Club. Please visit littlebrownjug.com or call 1-800-DEL-FAIR. The Little Brown Jug, where champions are crowned.
Welcome back. You just missed it. About got capitated by a flying T-shirt.
You caught one and almost got,
and it's about to take out our camera too.
Yeah. So Saturday night was a great night at Scioto. I understand it was packed.
Yes, it was. The crowd was wonderful. I actually even asked Jason Roth, the director of racing there at Scioto, I said, was Friday as good? He said, no, Friday was good, but nothing like this.
Yeah.
We had such good racing on Saturday too. I don't know if any, you were busy.
Yeah.
I'll let you have a pass. Maybe you didn't watch. Matt, did you get to watch any of the
State Fair?
Yeah, State Fair at Scioto on Saturday?
I did not.
I've been talking about it for days now. It was such good racing. It really was. The finishes were great. I don't know if we really had any upsets. I don't think we had any upsets, but the 3-year-old colt pacers, too. There's only one division, so we had a lot of Burke horses, stablemates going head-to-head. He went 1-2 in there, but they're just the glamour boys, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And those horses, even last year as 2-year-olds, proved their worth on not just Ohio circuit, but the Grand Circuit as well. And it's every year, I'm fascinated by the animals that we produce. And we had a great crowd. We had our TV and tickets giveaway. And Sam actually was there, our intern, who, if you listen to our Chili Coffee podcast, our broadcast yesterday, she joined me for the very first time, did a great job getting her feet wet. She unveiled Backstreet Buddies, which is a new youth program that OHHA is pretty proud of and unveiling. We've rolled that out, and it's for kids really 12 and under, just to get them involved in Ohio harness racing. They get some pretty cool stuff as soon as they sign up. What a backpack and membership cards and all the good stuff. And that's going to be a monthly mailing list.
Yeah, about a kind of monthly. Sam has different kinds of activities, so this will all come by mail. You'll get some activities. I think the first one talks about shoes, different kinds of horseshoes and so forth. So it'll be a bit of a learning experience, but just kind of really a lot of fun.
And saying the idea, again, is 12 and under. And that way, when they turn 12, that's really when HHYF, the Harness Worth Youth Foundation, it's when you can start signing up for those camps that we hope to funnel those kids to get their hands-on experience with HHYF.
And we had I understand that the trophy that we had, the 1931 Governor's Cup trophy, which is just absolutely beautiful, did attract a lot of attention.
It absolutely did. Lots of people stopped, and of course, it's hard to miss that big trophy. It's a very tall trophy, and it's old. What year is it from?
1931.
So almost 100 years old. Not as polished as it used to be, but the wear and tear makes it actually even that much cooler. And you printed off the article.
Yeah, we had the article from the newspaper telling about the horse that won it. McGregor was his name and won that, and told how fast they went. It took him 3 heats to get it, which it doesn't happen anymore.
We have quite a few horses out for our 4th race.
I honestly think that every person in the grandstand is going to get a T-shirt tonight because they are throwing.
We really do. Got a lot of high school baseball and football players, I think it sounded like, and they're throwing them everywhere.
In between races, they are just throwing tons of them.
We will give it over to Doug. There is our cue, the bugle, post-parade of the 4th, the 2nd division of freshman Philly Pacers.
about, I'm not going to ruin the story for you, but this Rodina Blue came down here from Canada.
On the track
and there's going to be a really nice story about Rodina Blue and the trainers in the next issue of the Buckeye Harness News.
$20,000. It's the second division, sponsored by CRSI. Field of 7, Justin Irvine to drive the 5. Note the 7, Mingle and Dingle, will come off the second tier. Second tier start for the 7, Mingle and Dingle. And these are the horses for the fourth race. Number 1, Rodina Blue. The driver is Brett Miller. Chris Page drives the 2, Odds On Piranha. Number 3, Midnight Moon Dance. Clayton Pfeiffer up. Carson Conrad driving the far, Zuma Diva. 5, Deosa de la Danza with Justin Irvine. Number 6 is Fire Country, driven by Tyler Smith. And number 7, Mingle and Dingle, Cameron McCown in her sulky.
So here we go. Susan, because you started with the one, would you like to introduce the one?
Rodina Blue with Brett Miller up. Neil McGinnis is the trainer, and Neil and his 9-year-old daughter Rory are the owners of this lather up filly. It's out of a Camluck mare, Mick Taylor. 2 starts on the year, 1 win, and that was at the last Buckeye Stallion Series that was held at Northfield Park. Raced a couple times up in, had a qualifier and a race up in Canada. So 1 in 157 at Northfield, but was in the race up at Woodbine in 56 and 4.
Our 2, Chris Page up for Virgil Morgan Jr., Odds On Piranha. This is a filly by Well Said out of Wicked Ways, a Captain Treacherous mare owned by Odds On Racing. 2 lifetime starts, has yet to hit the board, but in the last start up at Northfield in the Buckeye Stallion Series, she did have a 5th place finish at 1:58 and 1, final quarter in 29 and 2.
Midnight Moon Dance, Clayton Pfeiffer drives for trainer Bobby Carter. Bobby is also the owner of this Well Said filly. She's out of a Some Beach Somewhere mare, Eleanarch A. 5 starts on the year, 1 win. That was at Circleville, only our second fair of the year, in 2, 3, and 2 then. Since then, she's been racing at a few fairs, did race in the Buckeye Stallion Series and finished 4th, and has a qualifying record of 157 and 1 at Scioto.
Carson Conrad up for Stevie Carter. Summa Diva, this is of course the Summa Cum Laude out of a Dragon Again mare owned by Willard Taylor and Stephen Carter. We have 7 lifetime starts, 5 wins, and 2 third-place finishes on a little bit of a streak here at the county fairs. Has 3 in a row. Washington Courthouse, Piketon, and Xenia was a winner there. But actually, even before that streak, did start in the Buckeye Stallion Series at Northfield, had a 3rd-place finish, and was 3rd just by a little over a length. Time to mile in that BSS in 1:57 and 3, but should mention at Scioto, she put up a mile in 1:54 and 4. Final quarter 27 and 4. Over $15,000 made for this filly.
Diosa de la Danza. Justin Irvine gets the lines for Jason McGinnis. The stable Diosa de Lanza are the owners, and along with P23 Bloodstock. 5 starts on the year, has a qualifying win at the Meadows in 1:58. 3 starts back at Scioto in a 2-year-old filly race, paced her mile in 53 and 2.
Leaving from the far outside, Tyler Smith will drive Fire Country for Logan Rowe. This is a Catch the Fire owned by Matt Rowe right here in Urbana. 4 lifetime starts with 1 win and 1 second. She started in both legs of the BSS recently, the last. She got a 5th place finish. But before that, in the first leg, she was second by a neck in 155 and 4. And actually, again, at Scioto Downs, she timed even faster in 1:53 and 1. Final quarter in 28 and 1.
Mingle and Dingle and Cam McCowan from the second tier for trainer Brian Brown, and VIP Internet Stable from New Jersey. A Dancing Yankee filly out of a Western Terrier mare, Sebring Blue Chip. Just 1 start on the year, had 1 qualifier at Scioto, won that qualifier in 57-1, then went in the Buckeye Stallion Series up at Northfield, finished 3rd, only back by 2.5. 55-3.
So you mentioned a little bit of a preview for our one horse, Rodina Blue. She is going to be our feature story in the upcoming Buckeye. I should know this because I worked on it for so long. What's the name? Buckeye Harness Horseman Magazine. That is an in-house production publication that OHHA puts out quarterly. If you're an OHHA member, that will come to you in the mail, and actually probably just a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks away. So keep an eye on that one. But if you're not an OHHA member, you can be. There is still time to get that magazine. Even if you don't own horses, you don't train horses, you can still be an associate member. That's our membership title for that one. Do you know how much it is a year?
It's just $25.
$25, and that gets you.
And that also will get you into 22 fairs, the fairs that are with the Ohio Fair Racing Conference. So you can use that as a pass to get into 22 fairs. So it's a pretty good deal for $25.
It's a good perk. You're getting into a lot of OFRC fairs. You're getting our publications right to your doorstep. So I think it's worth it.
Yep, you get the Stallion Directory.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot
guide
outside of the magazine, of course, that we produce.
Yep, there is a lot. And the magazines are becoming more and more, I'm just going to say beautiful, because they are. The pictures, everything in there. It's kind of turning into more of a feature race or feature stories rather than just race recaps, because we know you can always get the race recaps earlier than we can get the magazine out. So some great feature stories in there. Ashley writes some. One of our new hires, Wes Mayberry, he's been writing a lot. So I think it'll be a very good magazine. Well worth it.
I got to read some of the Rodina Blue story, and I got to witness firsthand. She travels with a pony. And Roy, who is the daughter of the trainer Neil, actually was out jogging here on the racetrack this morning before 8 a.m. So it is absolutely a family affair for the McInneses. And I'm going to pass it over to Doug. Call the fourth, field of 7.
They were off them pacing. Midnight Moon Dance goes right to the front. Zuma Diva to the outside into the turn. Fire Country is on the outside. He's caught wide into the turn. Rodina Blue comes out in fourth. Racing fifth. Mingle and Dingle. Off stride is Rodina Blue. They head up the backside and off stride, Mingle and Dingle. Racing on the outside, Diosa de la Denza. Down the backside they go. Zuma Diva, Carson Conrad lead the way. Midnight Moon Dance is second. A break of 3 to Fire Country. Odds on Piranha racing fourth. Diosa de la Denza on the inside by the opening quarter and 29 4/5. Round the turn, Zuma Diva shows the way. Racing second, Midnight Moon Dance. Fire Country is third, moving to the outside. Here comes Fire Country, picking up the cover of Fire Country is Chris Page, and odds on Piranha as they pass the stand for the first time and come over to the halfway point. Up the inside, Mingle and Dingle stacked up third over on the outside. Diosa de la Denza trailing the field. Rodina Blue after the miscue at the opening 8th. By the opening quarter in 29 4. They're halfway home in a minute. To the 5/8 they go. Carson Conrad, Zuma Diva. He'll guide the fillies to the 3/4. Bracing for the challenge of Fire Country. Up the inside, Midnight Moon Dance the outside. Stacked up second over. Odds on Piranha and Chris Page. He'll come 3 wide, and here he comes. The outside. Diosa de la Denza as they move into the turn, skimming the cones. Mingle and Dingle, they're into the turn. Rodina Blue on the outside. Round the far turn, the 2 in the front end, stride for stride. Zuma Diva, Fire Country, 1:30 1/5 for 3/4. They're off the turn, they're on their way home. Fire Country, Tyler Smith getting up on the outside. Zuma Diva is second. Mingle and Dingle on the outside, through the lane, coming to the line. It is Fire Country. Fire Country's almost there. It's Fire Country. Mingle and Dingle up for second. Zuma Diva home third. The mile in 2 minutes.
Two minutes flat for Fire Country. Second lifetime win. First BSS victory.
Yes. Did have a second and a fifth, so it's also got some points. It's all those points that just keep adding up to get you into that final. Of course, we do have the final and a consolation for the Buckeye Stallion Series, so everybody's looking to get to those 2 races, that's for sure.
Had a lot of action there pretty early on.
It was.
So, of course, this is the bad streak. I'm pretty superstitious. Maybe that's the older generation horseman raising me, but we talked too much about Rodina Blue.
Yep.
And made a break in the first turn, but she came back good. I think she ended up 4th.
Yep, I think
made
so
up
too.
a ton of ground because she broke pretty hard there, and I think also Odds On Piranha made a break in the final turn, which is so unfortunate. Her last start in the BSS, she stayed flat, she was good, but her very first BSS start, she made a break in the same exact spot.
Yep.
All on half-mile tracks too, Northfield and now here.
Buckeye Stallion Series, we do have that final is October 4th at Northfield Park, and the Consolation October 5th. So it's a long time. It seems like a long time, but it will go by really fast.
And here we have Tyler Smith with Fire Country. This is a loaded down golf cart. This is some local rooting interest. Remember, the Rose used to train here a couple years ago. They were here for years and years and years, and recently made a track at their home farm right outside of Urbana here.
Here's your winner of the 4th race. The 2nd division of the 2-year-old filly pace Buckeye Stallion Series for $20,000. Sponsored by CRSI. Number 6, Fire Country. The 2-year-old bay filly to catch the fire out of the Cam Luck mare face to face. Fire Country's 2nd career win in 5 starts. On the back row of Urbana, Logan Road trains Tyler Smith in the sulky, pacing a mile in 2 minutes. Blanket by CRSI. Results are official for the 4th race. Number 1, Rodina Blue 4. Number 2, Odds On Piranha 7. The 3, Midnight Moondance 6. Number 4, Zuma Diva 3. 5, Diosa de la Danza 5. 6, Fire Country, the winner. Number 7, Mingle and Dingle 2. The time, 2 minutes. Fractions of 29 and 4. 1 minute, 1:30 and 1/5. Top down 4-7-6, 3-5-1, 2 on the bottom. Winner returns $820.
Well, if anybody's interested to know, a winner paid $820 to returned $820 for that win there. Official for the 4th. We're going to go back, you guessed it, to our Colt Pacers. I have a special guest joining me shortly, so let's go to commercial and hop right back here at Urbana.
Dublin Valley Farms, home of Volstead Sire of 2024 Ohio Horse of the Year Sugar Instead. Also standing at Dublin Valley Farms, Slay, a promising young son of Chapter 7 and Coach K Hanover by world record holder Wallner. Looking for your next winner? Dublin Valley Farms and our clients are offering an exciting lineup of yearlings with current and fashionable pedigrees. Available at public auctions this year. Backed by a team that cares, Dublin Valley Farms, Fredericksburg, Ohio.
The Ohio equine industry needs your help. I'm Scott Mogan, president of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. With over 300,000 horses in Ohio, the economic impact of the equine industry in the state is over $2.8 billion. That means jobs that pump millions of dollars into the local economy and support thousands of families. For Ohio's equine industry to remain strong, we need to send a clear message to our legislators about the important role that the agricultural small businesses play in Ohio's economy. To do that, we need your help. PACER, the Political Action Committee for Equine Racing, helps support and inform on issues that could positively affect Ohio harness racing. Please consider a donation to PACER. To donate, visit our website at ohha.com or call 614-221-3650. Your donation will help keep harness racing strong in Ohio. Thank you for your support.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Here we are, headed next into the 5th race at the Champaign County Fair. I do have a special guest with us, Todd Woodruff. I was trying to figure out how to introduce you. Todd does so much with our county. You've been involved with 4-H, and for how long? probably you were born and raised here, weren't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you've been there and done that.
Kinda, you might say that. Yep. I've lived in two homes my entire life, and they're not a quarter mile apart.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So you're no stranger to horse racing. You've owned a couple horses in your life.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, didn't have a whole lot of luck. We're getting there.
Oh, we did too with old Boom.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. Boom
Boom's
Dynamite.
first year out of the gate, he did really good. Yeah, he did. But you know how it is. That's horse racing.
Well, it is, and you know it. But I
Yeah.
wanted to bring you on here because when we first got started in our program this evening, I was trying to explain, of course, we have a huge harness racing presence here. That's no doubt, especially our viewership knows that. But behind the grandstand that we don't get to see on camera is livestock, and a lot of non-livestock projects as well.
Yeah.
We did our calf and pig scramble last night. You gave us a lot of stats for the amount of, just 4-H members, FFA members,
If
projects.
I remember right, roughly 908 4-H, between 4-H and FFA projects.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's a big number.
And they're all good quality. It's not just...
I'll tell you what, of course, I'm a little bit involved there with the state fair, and Champaign County is well recognized over there. Matter of fact, the grand champion steer this year came out of Champaign County, Essie McGuire, and of course her brothers. I think Essie actually had the reserve champion last year, and Oliver, her brother, I think in 2015 had the reserve champion, and that's a big feat. But they've also, the other kids and families, they've done so well with the goats and the lambs and the hogs over there. I mean, it's pretty impressive what Champaign County has gotten done. It really is.
And I'd say you mentioned the steer on the state fair level, but I also think you said the Charlet. Was it the grand champion Charlet?
Yeah. One of
dairy, you name it. We're big cattle. I didn't realize how big the cattle industry was, even just here in Urbana. But
in Champaign County, you actually have some of the most well-known and high-profile dairy cows around.
Yeah.
Madison, Wisconsin is they call it the World Dairy Expo, and the grand champion cow the last 2 years was housed at North Lewisburg, Ohio.
What?
Right here in Champaign County.
And you're from Wisconsin, right?
Yeah,
so she's familiar.
I know the Dairy Expo well, yes.
Yep. But it, it is what it is. Yeah.
But Todd, you have a very special program that, how long have you been doing it? Explain.
This is year 4.
Yes, but explain what it is. How'd you come up with it? What the heck are you doing for these kids here in the 4-H program?
Well, livestock to me has become, on the show level, you're either part of the elite or you're kind of left in the dust.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So basically our program, we, of course, we farm, raise livestock ourselves, so we got a decent idea of what we're doing. We don't know everything, trust me, but this program we started for kids and families that they might not know anything about it. They might not know how to get involved. They might not have the finances to do so, on and on and on, okay? So the program itself, they apply, and, so far we haven't turned anybody down, but they house them all at our farm. We hire a paid intern to be there 7 days a week, so that when the kids and the families come, they have guidance in the barn. Okay, the requirement is they have to show up at least 3 times a week, and we keep track of that. They all sign in, but we finance the project. We try to get all of our animals within the county right now. Our budget is $300. Our whole motto is you do the best with what you have to work with. And then we kind of go back in time a little bit. The way it used to be done, you'd gather them all and you draw out of a hat and that's what you get. Well, that's what we do. Oh. Okay. But, at the end of the project, okay, then once they receive their money from what they sold for, then they get charged back the cost of the animal, the feed, and the bedding. All right? Now, on the back side, we grade the kids, 1, 2, 3. If they're a 1, we make sure they net $500.
Okay.
A 2 nets, I think it's $250. And if you're in that bottom tier, to be honest with you, you probably shouldn't get anything, but we make sure they net something, okay? But at the same time, we also sit at the sale. We know what they have to have in order to achieve this money.
I'm going to stop you right there. Let us go through the post parade. We'll
Go
come right back
right
to you.
ahead. Go right ahead.
Drives. Number 3, Zuma's Legacy, Chris Page. 4, Big Cambo with Tyler Smith. Dan Noble, the 5, Walking by the Seaside. Number 6 is 99 Problems, Brett Miller. Second tier star for the 7, the Ebony Dragon, Luke Handers in the Sulky. Horse to take 1, score, and go to the gate.
All right, finish your thoughts for us. Sorry to interrupt you.
So you were saying that at the sale, then you kind of make sure that the kids get something.
Yeah, well, we purchase.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we, but I'll tell you what, we want our county to consider this program our program. Now, probably the thing that we started 2 years ago that has been extremely successful, we called it the 4-H Roundup. We found out we weren't allowed to use the word 4-H in a fundraiser,
Okay.
so we changed it to Learning Through Livestock Roundup. All right, but we've had, give or take, 500 people in attendance. We have a live auction. We have a silent auction. There's plenty to eat, plenty to drink. We have a mechanical bull, and this year we've got Dave Long coming with his Clydesdales, and he'll be giving cart rides and things like that. But the great thing is not only is it fairgoers that attend, it's been our mayor, the judges. It's people we didn't expect.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
So it's and the other counties, we hope we can expand this program into other counties. But the most gratifying thing is to see the change in the kids and the families also. These are kids, a lot of them have never touched anything but a dog or cat, if that. And by the time it's over with, they're in there competing. And I'll tell you, they're up there showing right now, but we've had a couple division winners, class winners, 2, 3, and 4, right on. They're all right there in the top. And the one thing that regardless of quality that they can do on their own is showmanship.
Yep.
Okay, well they've been at the top on that. So and I give our breeders in our county, sometimes we lose sight of how good of breeders we have in Champaign County raising these show animals. But with a $300 budget, they're selling us some nice animals for the money.
And you're teaching these kids a lot more than husbandry, obviously, right? They can take care of this livestock, but I'm sure there's some leadership skills and just taking accountability for themselves.
Probably the one thing that I take a lot of pride in, just let me know if you got to stop here.
We're not there yet.
But anyway, one of the things that we preach hard, and this is where I get highly involved, is number 1, they learn how to stand for the national anthem properly. I am kind of big on the proper handshake. Those are really two things that I hit pretty hard. And we have two showmanship contests at the farm. Because the other thing is, these kids have never been in front of a crowd.
Oh, good point.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so, and we invite the community, and I just do that through Facebook. And as a rule of thumb, counting parents and everybody, there's between 50 and 70 people there. But it's a totally different experience for them. It's things we take for granted.
Because we grew up with it.
Well, we
don't
did.
know any different.
No, that's right. We did grow up with it. But, I don't know. It, like I said, it's of the handful of things that I guess I've been involved with, I'll say, it's the one thing I can say I'm probably most proud of at this point.
As you should be. You should be. You've done a great job. I mean, it's pretty. How long did you say you've been doing it now?
This is year 4.
This is year 4.
Only year 4.
Right.
Our first year there were 27 kids. The following year it was 10 more, so it was 37.
Oh my gosh.
But long story short, this year we had 58 kids. 55 of them followed through. We had 2 because of a circumstance with the family, but
wow.
But it's we kind of expect them to stick with it if they
you should
start it.
That's part of it, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, Todd, thanks for joining us. We won't take too much more of your time. You're a busy man around here.
No, not really. I'm no busier than anybody else.
But no, and thank you for doing what you do outside of this program for the county.
Well,
by all means.
You know what? I enjoy it, and I think what I enjoy the most is all the support from all of Champaign County that gets involved in everything that's going on.
And we'll get you back on the racetrack with winners.
There you go.
There you go. That's the key.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah, but you can't guarantee that. This is the
it's
horse
part
business.
Of the game. I mean,
it
same thing
is
as going in, a different judge. This is different. It's a timed event,
sure
right?
It is.
But if you go into a cattle pen, doesn't matter. If the judge doesn't like you that day, they just don't like you that day. It's all there's a little bit of luck in everything we do, of course, right?
That's right. That's right.
All right, looks like we are moving to the gate. Thanks again,
Sounds
Todd.
good.
We're
Thanks,
gonna wish you the best of luck the rest of the week.
It was good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yep.
We will roll right quickly as we are moving to the gate. We will just go ahead and give our drivers and trainers racing perfection on the rail with Cam McGowan for Jane Weller.
Firing from the gate from the 2-hole, Austin Hanners drives for the Luther brothers.
Chris Page up on Suma's Legacy for Brian Brown.
Tyler Smith driving Bay Camo for Ty Loy.
Dan Noble for Virgil Morgan Jr. walking by the seaside.
Brett Miller drives 99 Problems for trainer Brian Georges.
And looks to be the even money favorite here, the Ebony Dragon, starting from the second tier. Luke Hanners for Ty Bates. Field of 7. Here's Doug Ballinger.
Rolling behind the gate. Here they come. They were up and pacing at Zuma's Legacy, going right out to the front. 2-hole tuck for Bay Camo. Up the inside, Racing Perfection comes out in third. 99 Problems in the outside fourth. Racing fifth into the turn, walking by the seaside. The Ebony Dragon from the second tier comes out in sixth, and firing from the gate, trails the field down the backside, going to the opening quarter. Zuma's Legacy, Chris Page have the lead by 3. Racing second is Bay Camo, 99 Problems third. Racing Perfection fourth. The Ebony Dragon is fifth. Sixth is Welcome by the Seaside, and trailing the field, firing from the gate by an opening quarter. The opening quarter in 29 2/5. Zuma's Legacy, Chris Page lead the way by 2. Bay Camo is second. Racing third. 99 Problems racing fourth. Racing Perfection. Here comes the Ebony Dragon. Now fifth, now fourth, and moving up on the leaders as they come on over to the halfway point. The Ebony Dragon on the outside is stacked up second. Over to the inside is Racing Perfection, walking by the seaside and trailing the field. They race into the turn, firing from the gate off a half in 59 2. Zuma's Legacy has the lead. 99 Problems is on the leader's wheel second. Racing third. Bay Camo down the backside. Racing Perfection is offside. The Ebony Dragon the outside fourth, walking by the seaside fifth, trailing the field, firing from the gate. They're into the far turn. It's Zuma's Legacy. 99 Problems the outside is second. Bay Camo is third. Around the turn, the Ebony Dragon is fourth. At the 3/4 mark, 3/4, 128. They come to the top of the stretch. Zuma's Legacy and Page trying to take them all the way. 99 Problems is second. They're off the turn. They're on their way home through the lane. Zuma's Legacy is almost there. Coming to the line, Zuma's Legacy and Chris Page. Bay Camo second, third. 99 Problems home fourth to complete the super. The 7, the Ebony Dragon. 157 1.
Mile in 157 1. Suma's Legacy and Chris Page. Chris getting his first win of the night. A summa cum laude out of a Real Desire Mare, Unique Legacy.
So yeah, this was the third lifetime start, but the first win for Summa's Legacy. Chris Page made it look easy. And I was just reminded by Doug Ballinger before I stepped over here to get to work tonight. Chris Page is just 18 years old, so some years ago, won his very first race here at Urbana.
Summa's Legacy, a summa cum laude, and summa cum laude has 17 foals in tonight. That's a lot. I mean, that's really between him and Down by the Seaside and Catch a Fire, they just dominate these Buckeye Stallion series.
And I'm sure our viewers would correct me if I'm wrong, but summa cum laude is part of that Some Beach Somewhere line. Does that ring a bell for you? I think that's why they've been so hot. Is, of course, that Down by the Seaside is a Some Beach Somewhere, and I think summa cum laude, correct me if I'm wrong. I've been wrong many times before. This would not be the first. This will definitely not be the last. But we didn't get to talk much about it. His last start out at Scioto was in the BSS. Ended up leaving from the 9 hole and just stayed in the back of the pack the whole time, but must have came home pretty good. Was ninth at the top of the stretch, and then ended up 5th by some lengths, but still was in the money his last start out. And Chris made it look very easy with this horse.
On August 5th, on a Sunday afternoon, 2001, then 17-year-old Chris Page got his first driving win right here at the Champaign County Fair. Since that time, he's driven over 7,000 winners in his career. Horses he has driven has won over $80 million. 2 years ago, Chris's dream came true. He won the Little Brown Jug with By the Missile. His first win came right here at the Champaign County Fair with Titanic Fella. Tonight, it's with Zuma's Legacy, the 2-year-old black-gilded son of Zuma Kalade, out of the Real Desire Mare, Unique Legacy, Hutchison Harness, Joanne Ritter, and Wangener, and Tim Holtzberry own. The mile 157-1, Brian Brown trains Chris Page in the sulky, blanket by Park National Bank.
Lots of claps from our from our grandstand here. That was another full win photo. Glad to see. You know, sometimes with the BSS, not everybody shows up, but they did it for the county fair tonight, didn't they?
Absolutely. There's a lot of people out in that winner's circle. And you were correct. Summa cum laude is a Some Beach Somewhere. Summa cum laude.
Results are official.
2-year record of 150 and 2.
6. 2, firing from the gate 7. The 3, Zuma's Legacy, the winner. 4, Bay Camo 2. 5, Walking to the Seaside 5. 6, 99 Problems 3. Number 7, the Ebony Dragon 4. The mile 157, 1/5. Fractions of 29 and 2, 59 and 2, and 128. Rechecking 671, 253, 4 on the bottom.
You know, Susan, we're talking about, of course, Chris Page for good reason. But Doug also reminded me, I had no idea. This would have been way before my time even. But David Miller used to be here. I had no. Did you know that?
I think I remember hearing that.
Yeah, he used to. I think even for a brief moment in time, lived in the tap
here.
room.
Yes, that was what I heard.
There
full circle, he's going to be coming back.
Yeah, he was supposed to come back this year. I didn't know when. Is it going to be stake, like end of stake
probably
season?
End of stakes, yeah. I think he's building a house and going to be living back here in Ohio. So that'll be an interesting addition to the driver colony.
It could possibly change it quite a bit. Yeah. Let's be honest here. Yeah,
absolutely.
We're going to flip the page. We can talk about race number 6. Back to Philly Pacers, our freshman. Another full field of 7. Join us back here briefly.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
In Ohio, Hickory Lane Farm has the stallions you are looking for, like What the Hill, Uncle Peter, and In Range, as well as Branded by Lindy, Jug Winner Luz Pearlman, Racing Hill, and Guardian Angel Oz. Hickory Lane will offer a host of Ohio sired yearlings this fall, including 6 by In Range, 5 by Uncle Peter, 4 by Guardian Angel Oz, and 1 by What the Hill. Find out more at hickorylanefarm.com.
With more than 300,000 horses in Ohio, the economic impact of the equine industry in the state is over $2.8 billion. Much of that value comes from standardbred horse owners, breeders, trainers, and drivers who participate in the sport of harness racing. The mission of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association is to preserve, protect, promote, and serve the entire standardbred industry in Ohio and beyond. To learn more about the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, go to ohha.com. That's ohha.com.
We are back, headed into race 6. We are almost
Cruising.
halfway. Yeah, we really are. It's been a great evening. We have another special guest.
Who?
I don't know.
Where? Who?
Hi, my name's Ashley Daly. Nice to meet
Frank
you.
Frost, nice to meet you.
Welcome to the broadcast.
Rush Chairman.
Do we get? I've been calling it. I haven't been doing it. I eat a bunch of fair food, but I don't give my reports on air. But do we get a Frank Frost food
without a
report
doubt.
today?
I've only done it one time. And the last time that I had this here at the Champaign County Fair, it's the pork wrap from the pork producers. It got 5 regular horseshoes. I'm sorry. It's been elevated to the golden horseshoe.
Whoa.
I'm coming back Wednesday, and I'm probably going to be there again. It is a large, just load it with everything. It is so good. I feel sorry for the cattlemen here because I'm a beef guy, but this pork wrap is just so good.
The Cattleman's is good too.
I know.
I think their ribeye. I can't remember. They have maybe a ribeye sandwich. People eat that up too.
But this pork wrap is just unbelievable. Very good.
Maybe last year they kind of had two flavors, 2 sauces. Do they still have that?
They had just barbecue with this one.
I think they might have did a ranch at one time.
It was great. It's one of those that they close early. So you better get back there and get it early if you want one. And that was my big fear as I was walking back. I saw the cattlemen. I kept walking and I'm walking. And I'm looking. I'm like, oh no, oh they're open. But no, this is just a great night out here.
Yeah,
it just really is. It's beautiful weather. Big crowd. I know I was talking to Randy Leopard. They were a little worried moving it to Monday night. Would the people come out with chamber night and everything? Well, I'll tell you, the city of Urbana and the county of Champaign, they responded without a doubt. This is just a great night of racing. Lines are long to bet, so you better get out there early. And people brought their chairs, and they're enjoying seeing some great racing, too.
It is. We broke a track record already, so it's just, it has the speed. They're going fast. We're having good finishes. We've got photo finishes. It's just been a really great night. And like you said, everybody's sitting in their lawn chairs. They were set up when I got here, so they were ready for this.
It's funny. I've been on the back stretch for most of the card, and as they start coming to the gate, everybody just comes up to the guardrail there and just stands here and watches them as they come by.
And the crowd has been into it. As soon as the gate gets out of the way, and especially they're hooting, hollering right when they hit the half, and it is very loud cheering them across the finish line every single race too.
And I was talking to Randy, and I said, the people here, they know they're racing. They understand it, they enjoy it, and they're going to give these horses and their drivers their due and really cheer them on. Ash, you're from here. You know what the history is of this county and how important harness racing is to it and how much these fans love it.
And we're not just blowing smoke, all right?
No, we're not.
We can talk a little bit about some of the good horses and horsemen that have come out of this county. Of course, Hall of Fame, Dick Buxton, Bob Seabrook, who a lot of people don't know, which surprises me. And I think because Bob was really, again, our viewers are going to correct me on this. He's not in the Hall of Fame, which I think is such a shame. But I think he was big in the 80s, early 80s or so from here. And we claim Dick Buxton. Even though Greenville wants to claim Dick Buxton, we claim Dick Buxton. Of course, my dad trained. We had some nice horses out of these barns here, too. Black Hole, who it was pretty tough, maybe 2 or 3 years ago
yep.
now. Black Hole was out of here. I know my Chip was one of ours, and he was the only millionaire we've ever bred. Pretty proud of that one,
Tell
too.
you right now, your mother's got the cleanest barn out back there. I walked through your mom's barn again. Yes, without a doubt. It is, on the fair circuit, it is one of the nicest barns. The mats are there. It's clean. No, it's a really nice barn.
We are very proud of that barn.
And, you know, and I encourage people who are watching us who come to the fairs, go to the backside. Walk back there. Meet these trainers. Meet the drivers. Meet the horses. You can walk through the barns. It's a great atmosphere. You get up close to these unbelievable equine athletes.
Did you get to see our new race office? That was
oh my gosh, that is the neatest little
so
building
cute.
around.
Yep. Did they tell you the story of how it landed?
Yep. Lisa Schwartz told me a little bit about it. That the company's going out of business. They took down a silo piece by piece, numbered it and everything, and brought it over here and built it.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
I'm pretty sure Randy Leopard spearheaded that quite a bit. He said, hey, if you don't want that, we'll take it. And it threw it up, and it was a work in progress. They started it less than 3 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
It was very quick. They just finished it maybe a day before our fair opened.
Neat little building, though, yep.
Mom was happy because our barn office the week of fair would turn into the race office, so she was happy. She didn't have to clean up our office.
So you know it's a harness racing town when they've got the monument in the middle of the track here. R.L. Craig Stables, 1920 to 1960. April Star, that's a name everybody would remember. 2, 3, and 1. Miss Macca Win and Wilmington Star. I'm not sure if they're buried out there, but they are
buried out there. Here is Doug for our post parade of the 6th, another division of Philly
Division
Pacers.
Buckeye Stallion Series for $20,000. Sponsored by Middle of the Wood. Chris Page to drive the 3. Adam Hart, mother. Note the 7, Fool Me Twice. Second tier start for the 7. These are the horses. Number 1 is Annie's Miracle, driven by Jeff Neisonger. Number 2, Me So Fine, Hank Levan drives. Chris Page the 3, Adam Hart, mother. Number 4, Angel's Secret, driven by Randy Thorpes. 5, Baxter Tough with Tyler Smith. 6 is Wishing for Gold, driven by Ronnie Gillespie. And number 7, Fool Me Twice, Brady Galliers in the sulky. Horse to take 1 score.
Say those horses are buried in the infield. Actually, Randy Leopard, my mom, they could tell the story better than myself, but I'm pretty positive there was a barn fire years and years ago, and those horses were actually released from the, we got them out of, not we, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They were out of the barn, they got scared, and their stall was home, and they went back in. And so that is who is buried in their infield there. And they do a great job. It's always clean. We take very good care year-round of that headstone that's there, and I even put flowers on it come Fair Week. So,
yeah, it's really a nice tribute.
And you know who I didn't mention, talking about great horsemen from Champaign County? Our blanket thrower.
Oh,
Jimmy Byers. There's no one who does it like Jimmy. I hope we have a special appearance at Delaware again this year. He's hoping
that was
for
on
it.
his bucket list. I don't know. Once you get a bucket list done, you move on.
But not the blanket throwing wasn't his bucket list. The rake.
Oh, the rake.
Across
That's
the
right.
track
Which he did also.
How many people want to do that? I mean, that's just...
That would be a stressful job. I'm going to be honest.
Raking?
I wouldn't want to do it. No, because you have to do it in such a perfect manner because they're serious about it. And you have to do it, of course, by the time the truck picks up the horses, and you got to be out of there in time by the time they start the race.
And then somebody comes and walks across.
Yeah, and
and
then you
moves
go,
it all for you.
We will go ahead and take a look at our field of 7 for the 6th race. Of course, $20,000 on the line. Another division of these freshman Philly Pacers on the rail. We have Annie's Miracle. Jeff Neisonger up for Tom T. Tetrick. You guessed it, this is another summa cum laude and a homebred for Mike Cacaos of Illinois. Has actually come off of a win at the Xenia. Greene County Fair went wire to wire there in 2:06 and 2. But before that, at Hoosier Park in a qualifier, timed a mile in 1:57.2, final quarter in 27.4. 3 lifetime starts, has hit the board in every single one. Hank Levan trains and drives the 2 Me So Fine, a Me So Fast out of a Western Terra mare, owned by Winchester Bay Acres of Orlando, Florida. 9 seasonal starts, 4 wins, 2 seconds, and 3 third-place finishes. Racing a lot at the fairs. This is the first BSS start, but at Ottawa had a lifetime mark, kind of first go out in 2:01.3. Final quarter there in 28.4.
And from the 3, Adam Hart Mother changed the driver to Chris Page for Brian Brown, and L&H Management Services, Country Club Acres, a Down by the Seaside filly out of a Yankee Cruiser mare. 2 starts on the year, both of those in the Buckeye Stallion Series, had a 5th and a 4th. Had 3 qualifiers before that. Has been pacing around 57.3.
Angel's Secret will lead from the 4th post position. Randy Tharps up for Mike McAuliffe. This is another summa cum laude owned by Bet the House. Just 1 lifetime start there at Scioto Downs. Came some time back, 3 weeks ago, had a 3rd place finish in 1:54.2.
Tyler Smith drives the 5, Baxter Tough for Logan Rowe and Matt Rowe, a Dancing Yankee filly. He's had 2 starts in the Buckeye Stallion Series as well as a start at Wilmington. Was 3rd and 2nd in the Buckeye, 57 and 57.1.
Leaving from the far outside, Wishing for Gold, Ron Gillespie up for Virgil Morgan Jr. This is a Down by the Seaside out of American Ideal mare. Did have 1 go in the BSS back there on the 23rd of July at Northfield. Was 4th in 1:56.4.
Fool Me Twice from the 2nd tier, Brady Gallier's up. Brady also trains for Gallier's Racing. A Fool Me Once out of an American Ideal mare, Jackie's Rocket. 2 starts in the Buckeye Stallion Series, a 5th and a 4th.
We may have some viewers over in Ireland. It's early morning. The Tells of Winchester Bay Acres are in Ireland. They may be watching.
They may be watching, yep.
Well, hey, best of luck. Here is our field of...
Bigger up and pacing, that's Me So Fine going for the lead. On the outside, Wishing for Gold, and Ronnie Gillespie grab the track. Adam Hart Mother comes out in 3rd. Annie's Miracle is 4th, taking a tuck. Angel's Secret is 5th. Fool Me Twice racing 6th and trailing a field. Up the backside, Baxter Tough. Ronnie Gillespie and Wishing for Gold. 2-year-old Bay Phillip Down by the Seaside has the lead. 2-hole trip to Me So Fine. Adam Hart Mother racing 3rd. Annie's Miracle is 4th. Angel's Secret is 5th. Fool Me Twice 2nd to last and trailing a field. Zibberies around the turn, Baxter Tough through an opening quarter in 29 4/5. Round the turn to the 3/8. Wishing for Gold has the lead for Gillespie. Me So Fine right there 2nd. Adam Hart Mother is 3rd and takes a peek to the outside for Page. Annie's Miracle is next in 4th as the outer flow begins to develop as they pass the stand for the first time and come to the half. First to move is Page with Adam Hart Mother first up. 2nd over, Angel Secret. Stacked up 3rd over is Fool Me Twice. Stacked up 4 over, Baxter Tough. Inside is Annie's Miracle. On to the 5/8 they go. Angel Secret off a half in 1 minute and 2/5. To the backside they go. Up on the outside, Adam Hart Mother and Chris Page is on the leader's wheel. Me So Fine 3rd. Angel Secret is 4th. Racing 5th is Annie's Miracle. On the outside 6th. Up the backside, Fool Me Twice, and trailing up field is Baxter Tough. They're into the far turn. They're by 3/4. The battle's on. Wishing for Gold on the inside. Adam Hart Mother to the outside. 3/4 in 1:30.3. Me So Fine on the inside. 3 wide on the outside. Here comes Annie's Miracle. They're off the turn. They're on their way home. Adam Hart Mother and Chris Page. The inside, Wishing for Gold and Ronnie Gillespie. Closing on the outside on the grandstand side. Angel Secret, but coming to the line. Adam Hart Mother gives Chris Page his 2nd on the card. Angel Secret home 2nd. The mile, 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Adam Hart Mother, that is a double for Chris Page and a double for Brian Brown. Not a bad way to kick off the night.
What am I doing sitting back here when you've got Chris Page and Brian Brown going off at 9-1?
You know, I was actually about to question before we went to post. Didn't have enough time if you were playing any tickets.
Well, yeah. When I was back there, I did. I won the first race and donated since then.
It all goes to a good cause.
It does.
Good for the purse pool.
I'm definitely curious what they're going to wager tonight. Of course, Chamber Night, BSS Night is always our biggest. I can't remember what we did last year. I think it's close to 6 figures in a single night. I'll have to go nose my way around later. Report back to everybody tomorrow. Adam Hartmother, that is actually the very first lifetime win for this Down by the Seaside filly. She started in every single leg so far of the BSS. Gotten a check everywhere, but just hasn't hit the board yet. She made this one a good one. Chris made it look easy.
3 qualifiers, so Brian Brown wanted to make sure that this horse was ready before he put her in the Buckeye Stallion Series, and this is her 3rd start. This is all she's raced in, is Buckeye Stallions.
This is a homebred, too, for L&H Management Services and Country Club Acres.
I do believe the 4, Angel Secret, was 2nd, unofficial. Wishing for Gold, who cut the mile, 3rd.
That is what I have down. I have 3, 4, 6, 1.
Oh my gosh, look at that trifecta. $492.
3, 4, all.
Wow.
21.80 to win. Man, no respect on the Chris Page, Brian Brown duo. It's all right. These guys, these our wagerers here don't know.
Into the winner's
right?
circle. Your winner. The 6th race, 2-year-old filly pace, 3rd division, Buckeye Stallion Series for $20,000. Number 2, Adam Hartmother. This is a homebred. 2-year-old bay filly down by the Seaside out of the Yankee Cruiser mare, High Reward. Owned by L&H Management Services of Findlay, Country Club Acres Incorporated of Findlay, Ohio. Brian Brown trains. Chris Page gets his 2nd driving win on the card. The mile in 2 minutes. Blanket by middle of the wood. Results are official. Number 1, Annie's Miracle, 4. Number 2, Miso Fine, 6. The 3, Adam Hartmother, the winner. 4, Angel Secret, 2. Number 5, Baxter Tough, 5. 6, Wishing for Gold, 3. Number 7, Fool Me Twice, 7. Winning time, 2 minutes. 29 4 for the quarter, the half a minute and 4/5. 3/4, 1:30 and 3/5. 4-6-1, 2-5-3-7 on the bottom. 7th race is up next.
And Miso Fine finished 6th in that race, has been racing so well at the fairs. I mean, it was 9 for 9 on the board with that winning time of 2-1 and 3. But this 2 minutes flat here wasn't the best for Miso Fast. 7th race coming up. Back to the 2-year-old Colt Pacers. No driver changes, no changes that I know about. We got the horse that is finishing 2nd and 5th in the 2-year-old Colt Pacer Buckeye Stallion Series standing. So we will be right back to talk about these horses in just a few minutes.
All right, we are back. When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out, Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at BigD'sWeb.com. Sign up for text messaging and receive $10 off your order. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Cool Winds Farm is one of Ohio's premier standardbred breeding farms. Cool Winds stands the popular Dancin' Yankee, jug winner Southwind Aussie, and the royally bred Western Fame. Cool Winds Farm is proud to present our yearling consignments at the Ohio Selected Jug Sale at Pickaway on Friday, September 12th, and at the Standardbred Horse Sale in Harrisburg during the cool winds of November.
At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year, providing advanced specialty care for sports horses from all stages and disciplines. Our expert team of boarded surgeons and sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sports horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661.
We are back. We are officially over halfway through our very first racing card here at the Champaign County Fair in Urbana, Ohio. Race 7 up next. Back to 2-year-old colt pacers.
Hey, Susan, do you know what all the colors mean on your color-coded sheet?
I have to look them up. I can't remember. But Tim was just asking who's going to be at Napoleon, and I believe looks like Ashley is going to be there on Tuesday.
With Kenny.
With Kenny.
Right? Is that what it says?
Yep.
Okay.
Kenny Living Good. And on Wednesday, it just says Doug Ballinger.
I don't know if that means I need to stay over, or if Doug's pretty good about doing his own card.
Yeah.
He is.
Can I go?
Why don't you? That's a haul.
Oh, is that next week?
Yeah.
I'm in Saratoga at that conference. So.
Oh, shucks. You can't go Napoleon because you're in Saratoga, New York.
I am doing Wellington. I hope you still be down for Wellington.
I did see that. Are you on air?
Yes,
like
I
full
am.
card on
I'm
air.
full card.
There's
full
a couple
card.
of them.
Yep.
So what did you do on Sunday, Frank?
Sunday, I represented the OHHA at the Sale of Champions.
Hey, we just talked about this. We had a special
I
guest
know.
on earlier.
And you were talking about that Grand Champion steer.
Yep.
That was a beautiful looking animal. And I don't know much about cows, but I'll tell you, that animal was beautiful looking. I mean, it really was. It was really a neat thing. Dr. John Mossbarger of Midland Acres usually goes for us and couldn't make it this time. And so I went and represented us, and not knowing, believe it or not, the OHHA has participated in that. I went back, they had a program for, I think about, 16, 17 years. We have been there buying something at the Sale of Champions. And before that, it was the Ohio racing industry and the Racing Council. So I'm not sure what that was. But there were a couple years we didn't buy anything. So, I got there, not knowing how it works, and ran into Adam Sharp of the Ohio Farm Bureau, who I know. And, and I told Adam, I said, this is my first time there. He goes, hold on a second. He calls over Mark Bruce from the Kroger Company and introduces me to Mark. And Mark was like, yeah, you guys were in on us last year. We bought the Grand Champion steer. We were part of the group that bought the Grand Champion steer. And it did not go for much last year. This year it went for about 80,000. The pig went for 101,000.
That was a new record.
And so I'm sitting there and and talking to Mark, and he's like, okay, he says, so we talked about budgets and how much he thought things were going to go for, and he goes, okay, well, I think I'm going to put you down for the chickens or the lamb. I said, okay. And so then as the day's going on, you see him going to all these different groups of people and figuring out how much money they can get, and then he's bidding in that. And then we were part of the group that purchased the Grand Champion lamb. And it was us, it was Kroger, Faith Driving School, I know I'm going to miss one, Event Marketing, Tally Amusements, and there was one other group. I can't remember who the other group was. And we all went in and purchased it. And we got a beautiful little purple banner now that we can hang in our office.
And a picture
that made the ag publications and that. So no, but it was a really neat experience. They did first time they ever did a little reception prior to the event, so groups could get together and meet and talk, and it worked out really well.
Strategize.
And strategize what they were going to do, and then they had all of the groups that sold the pork producers were there, and they had pork tenderloin, the beef people had beef tenderloin, you had goat meatballs, you had lamb kebabs, there was chicken kebabs, and then a big big cheese display as well. And some fine Ohio wines, which I did not partake in. So, I think the idea.
You were on the clock. You can't do that.
I know. I think what they were doing was hoping people would lube them up a little bit.
Yeah.
Make the pie. But it was really fun. I mean, I was in the second row, and it was fun just watching the auctioneers work. I mean, we go to a lot of horse auctions, and we see the guys out there talking to the people, but we're always in the back.
Yeah.
I was sitting right there and watching how they were working the crowd and the hand signals with the auctioneer, and it was a lot of fun.
I think I was amazed by the turkey. The grand champion turkey went for $45,000.
60-pound turkey coming out.
Wow.
And, the young man that had the turkey, he uses a cane, the hook of the cane to walk it around, which was really, really neat seeing that. But it was very impressive.
What I liked is how you said it gets divided up. So the kid that actually owns that, but
right.
all the rest of the kids get something.
Well, they put a cap on how much the young gentleman or the young lady who shows the animal can make. I think the cap for the grand champion steer is $25,000. So if it's sold for, let's say, $50,000, they got $25,000, and the rest of that money, the $25,000, goes into the Virgil Strickler program for scholarships to be handed down to other participants in that. So
that's really neat.
I mean, they honored the top 10 showmen in each class. Those kids came out. They all got a belt buckle. Each age got a belt buckle, and then they had the top showman come out, and they got a banner, and then they introduced the top 5 showmen, and then they brought the grand champion of that division out. They auctioned that, and then the reserve came out.
Wow.
Televised on the Ohio channel, so if you want, you can go back and watch that and see how it goes. It was really interesting. There's a gentleman by the name of Mark Kwame who's a venture capitalist, and Roush Excavating out of Dayton, and they're very big in the agricultural world. And you could see the two of them bidding against each other. It was fun to watch them going back and forth.
Had a great program for these kids.
Oh, without a doubt. They interviewed all these kids, too, on the screen, the ones with the grand champions and the reserves.
Horses are
the
on
hard
the
work that goes into
for the
that.
7th race. 2-year-old colt pace. 4th division, $20,000. Sponsored by the People's Savings Bank. These are the horses. Number 1 is Rock Sun. The drivers, Dan Noble. Brett Miller, the 2, Hunka Hunka. Number 3 is Hong Kong Pui with Trevor Smith. 4, Fired Up Henry L. Hank Levan driving. Number 5 is ATI Kiss My Hawks, driven by Tyler Smith. 6, Tsunami Seas, Austin Hanners. And number 7, Odds on Phil, Chris Page in the sulky.
Go right into it. A nice field of 7 freshman colt pacers on the rail. Rock Sun, Dan Noble for Charles Neff, who also co-owns this 2-year-old colt by Pet Rock. Has raced in both starts of the Buckeye Stallion Series thus far. However, most recently had the better go of the bunch. So they're on July 25th at Scioto Downs. Did have a 4th place finish in 1:53-4. Final quarter 28-3. $2,200 made for this colt.
This is a really clever name. Hunka Hunka by Catch the Fire. Hunka Hunka
Burnin' Love.
Great name. Hunka Hunka and Brett Miller from the 2-hole for trainer Darren Harvey. Mast, Eden Acres, Miller, and Harvey all own this Catch the Fire colt. It's had 3 starts on the year, 2 wins. One of those wins was in a Buckeye Stallion Series in 156 flat last quarter in 28-3. Start before that, won an overnight race at Scioto Downs in 54-2.
Trevor Smith up for Dean. Oh goodness, I always mess this up. Dean Santantonio. My apologies on that one. Hong Kong Fooey, 3 lifetime starts, 2 third-place finishes. Last start out in the BSS had a DNF, did not finish, but before that, in the BSS up at Northfield Park, did end up 3rd, back by 2 lengths in 156 flat. And at Scioto Downs was in a non-winners 1 for 2-year-olds in time to mile in 154-4.
Fired Up Henry L. and Hank Levan from the 4-hole. Hank trains for Levan Stables. Another Catch the Fire colt out of an Art Major mare. 9 starts on the year, 3 wins, 3 seconds, and a 3rd. Fastest win was 158 at Bucyrus. Last start out, finished second in the Buckeye Stallion Series at Scioto, pacing his mile in 53-4.
Tyler Smith for Logan Rowe on the 5. ATI Kiss My Hawks. This is a racing hill owned by Matt Rowe of right here in Urbana. 4 lifetime starts, 2 second place finishes that we have on the board. Last time out at Scioto in the BSS, I think really post position got a hold of him. He left from the 8 hole and did get a check. He was 5th in there, but timed a mile in 1:53.1, final quarter 27.1. Time before that, though, in the first leg of the BSF up in Northfield was 2nd in 55.3.
Tsunami Seas and Austin Hanners from the 6 hole, so we'll be on the outside. Virgil Morgan Jr., the trainer for Jeffrey Rector, Larry Wills, Hutchinson Harness. A down by the seaside out of a Riggins mare, Foxy Rigger. 2 starts on the year, both of those in the Buckeye Stallion Series. Finished second in both of them, making this colt 5th in the standings.
7 horse and starting from the 2nd tier, odds on Phil. Chris Page for Virgil Morgan Jr., a lather up colt owned by Odds on Racing. This is a Some Beach, out of a Some Beach Somewhere mare, Beach Granny. 3 lifetime starts, has hit the board in every single one. 2 wins, most recently coming off a win in the BSS at Scioto Downs, 153 flat. This is a nice one you want to have in your stable, that's for sure. $21,000 made and was originally a $15,000 purchase out of the Ohio Selected.
You talked about Hunka Hunka as a great name. I want to get invited to the ATI naming parties.
Yeah.
They have some great names.
Do they let kids do it? Do you know? Do they
I
let
don't
students
know.
do it?
I don't know, but they always come up with some great names
Really
for the
funny,
horses
yeah.
bred by OSU ATI.
ATI Kiss My Hawks.
Yeah, you wonder what, oh.
So we are moving into position. A field of 7 for the 7th. Here's Doug. Oh, did you want to say something?
Well, I was just thinking they may have finally run out of T-shirts to throw.
Oh.
Because they're not throwing, but there was a lot of T-shirts thrown earlier.
Our camera almost got hit. My head almost was.
They were up and pacing. That's fired up Henry L. along with Hunka Hunka for the lead. 3 wide Tsunami Seas. And they move into the turn. Roxanne is next from the 2nd tier. Odds on Phil comes out in 5th. Hong Kong Pui racing 6th and trailing up field. ATI Kiss My Hawks down the backside for the first time going to the opening quarter. Hank Levan and fired up Henry L. lead the way. Hunka Hunka getting a 2-hole trip. Backing off and taking a seat. Tsunami the Seas by the opening quarter. Rock My Son racing 4th, racing 5th into the turn. Odds on Phil. Opening quarter in 28 seconds. Round the turn. Hong Hong Pui is 6th. Moving to the outside. ATI Kiss My Hawks passing the stand first time. Fired up Henry L. has the lead. Getting the 2-hole trip. Hunka Hunka passing the stand first time. Coming to the halfway point. Racing 3rd. Tsunami Seas racing 4th and tipping to the outside. Roxy and Odds on Phil will pick up the cover. Up the inside, Hong Kong Pui. The outside, ATI Kiss My Ox in the cover flow as they head to the 5/8. They're all chasing. Fired up Henry L. off a half in 56-3. Down the backside they go. Hunka Hunka getting the trip right there. 2nd. Closing on the outside is Roxanne. Racing to the inside is Tsunami Seas. Moving to the outside. Odds on Phil. Odds on Phil is now 5th. He's now 4th. He's now 3rd on the outside. They move into the turn. Fired up Henry L. Hunka Hunka pops the pocket. 3/4, 126-1. Fired up Henry L. Hunka Hunka in the hunt. Odds on Phil. They're off the turn. They're on their way home. 2-year-old pacers are coming from everywhere. Hunka Hunka. Odds on Phil. Closing on the outside. Coming to the line. Hunka Hunka. Odds on Phil and Roxanne. 155-4.
Ooh. Wow. That is not quite there. It's our track record for 2-year-old colt pacers. Brian Brown, trainee, in 2019 was 155 flat, so we're inching. We're inching there.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good mile, though. Hunka Hunka. Darren Harvey.
54-2 at Scioto and 55-4 right here at Urbana. That's amazing. Just amazing.
4th lifetime start and the 3rd win.
A lot of credit to the track people here at Urbana. They really did a great job tonight with this track.
I say we really don't have a track person. I was giving compliments when we first got started. The Swartzes have really been taking care of it in recent weeks, but we're on top of it today. We had an event right smack in front of the grandstand in our home stretch, and I was worried that it was not going to be in shape, just fast-wise, for today, because it's our first time holding BSS on the very first opening day of the Urbana Fair, but it has been no problem at all.
Yeah. Track record for 2-year-old Colt Pacers, as we said before, is held by I So Wanna Pet Rock. And that horse went on, so he had a record of 55 here. He went on to get a 2-year-old record of 150-3 at the Red Mile. Last raced in January at Northfield. 127 starts, 17 wins. So started out really good, 55 here, but went 5 seconds faster at the Red Mile.
Here is Darren Harvey and Brett Miller back into the winner's circle with Hunka Hunka.
Into the winner's circle, your winner, the 7th race. The 4th division of the 2-year-old Colt and Gelding Pace. Buckeye Stallion Series for $20,000. Sponsored by the People's Savings Bank. Jimmy Byers making a trophy presentation to the 2. Hunka Hunka. 2-year-old Bay Colt, but catch the fire out of the American Ideal mare. Better Love next time. W. Mass Jr., Eden Acres, S. Miller and D. Harvey owned. Darren Harvey trains. Brett Miller in the sulky. The mile, 155-4. Just 4/5 of a second off the track record for 2-year-old Colt and Gelding Pacers here at the Champaign County Fair. Here's the way they finished the 7th. Number 1, Rock Sun, 3. 2, Hunka Hunka, the winner. The 3, Hong Kong Pui, 7. Number 4, Pirate Up Henry L, 5. 5, ATI Kiss My Hawks, 4. Number 6, Tsunami C, 6. And number 7, Odds on Phil, finished 2nd. The mile, 155-4. 28 seconds for the quarter. The half, 56-3. 3/4, 126-1. 317-546. 2 on the bottom. 8th is up next.
Frank, you're really missing out on some nice paybacks here.
15-20
to win. Oh, they just changed it. I don't know what those tries were paying quite a bit too.
Yeah, that one paid $190, I think.
So you were paying attention.
Oh, yeah. And that's why I am going to head to the other side of the track where the line is not so long.
You say that. But it should be. Should be quieter over there. But there is a nice crowd on the backside, too.
I'm going to make the rest of my rounds, stop over at the judges' stand, say hello to the judges and Doug and Brad Conrad, and head over there. And I'll be back out here Wednesday.
Make summer memories this year at the Ohio County Fairs. The Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association will be live streaming every race this year, and we want you to be there. Be a part of the excitement with the 2025 Ohio County Fair Racing Passport. Stop by the OHHA broadcast location in the grandstand to pick up your passport and stamp. Get stamps at every fair you attend. Prizes will be awarded to those that attend the most racing programs. Get your passport at the first fair you attend or call the OHHA office at 614-221-3650. Harness Racing, the fastest ride at the fair.
Who feeds your need for new ideas for your family's best farm future? Ohio Farm Bureau. We work with our members to shape ag policy that will positively impact our industry. Farm Bureau is advancing business solutions to give you a competitive advantage. We help you gather information to stay ahead of important topics and technologies. Plus, Ohio Farm Bureau creates opportunities for growth. Ohio Farm Bureau, feeding your need for new ideas.
Thanks for joining us on this beautiful evening. Day 1 of 3 here in Champaign County, my home turf. I like to pretend that I know what I'm doing here on this track. But no promises to that. I spent a lot of time. Actually, we've talked about that barn straight across on the backside is where we're at now, but I originally grew up in the block barn that's kind of headed into that final turn. Had a toddler bed in there, I think, until I went to kindergarten. So I think I know this place like the back of my hand.
Really well. Had a nice lady in the next booth to us, and she watches the races, and she says, well, she's at work. She watches our races all day, every day, watches the broadcast. She used to have horses a long time ago when she was a kid. So, as I said, it never leaves you with this having race horses in your blood. Just never goes away. Never goes away.
Ever. Say I did not bring a jacket. Our sun has gone down. It's been chilly here in the evenings. I spent Friday evening here. We do a big family thing, have dinner all together here on the fairgrounds. It's pretty much a tradition at this point, and I did not bring any extra clothes with me. And when the sun went down, I was like, ooh, it is cold, which is so different than what we've been experiencing at our county fairs lately.
It is. This is a perfect evening, I think, to sit here and everybody's comfortable. You know, you're not sweating. It's not too hot.
We're keeping the crowd. We are more than halfway through our program. We're headed next into race 8 of 11. So we're actually, we're actually pretty rolling through them nicely here, considering the big crowd. And we try to let them have their lines for wagering for a decent amount of time before we go to the gate. But
it is. You can tell when the judges can watch the lines. They can just see the lines over here. So they're calling over to Mike Webkenberg and say, take another turn. You know, telling the horses just to take another turn. You don't want to get anybody shut out here. You want them all to have their opportunity to bet. That's for sure.
So I'm surprised we haven't turned. There are track lights.
Yes,
track lights are trying to turn on. We just have that photo finish light turn on. I was like, I haven't seen any in the turn yet, but they are on.
They are on. Yep.
I don't think we've ever, historically, this has been years now, but we used to race 4 days. We used to race more than that, but what I remember was 4 days, and we always started on a Sunday, and I think that was an afternoon card.
Oh.
It was all overnights.
Okay.
This has been pre-COVID. Has to be pre-COVID, I think. But I believe that was an afternoon card, but other than that, I think we've always raced at night.
At night.
Partially
and you have good lights here.
Yeah.
You know, some fairs that race at night, you think, oh my gosh, you can't really see too well.
And I think part of that decision is to cater to fans.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, people still work. We're not racing on Saturday, Sunday. We race in the middle of the week, and we got to cater to. We want people to come out. We want people to share the excitement and the sport with us, and that way they come back on Tuesday and they come back on Wednesday. And that's some great racing, too. Again, only 11 here tonight, but I think there's 15 both Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, that's all the Colt Stakes. I think you have some overnights.
The Signature Series.
Signature Series, yep. So you have a Terry Holton, too, I think.
We do. I think you're right. I can open up. We just had the Huff's Guide. Urbana. Where is Urbana here?
I just know it's halfway through. We're more than halfway through the Huff's Guide.
Yep, that we are. Wednesday is when we will hold the Bob Seabook Pace Signature Series as well as the Terry Holton Driving Series. Tomorrow is the Signature Series Trot, the Dick Buxton Trot, and that always goes for a lot of money. It's about $10,000.
Yeah, that's always been a really nice race here. I'm talking about the Terry Holton. Reminded me at Bucyrus they called the Terry Holton driving series race the Playboy Hanover Terry Holton series in honor of Playboy Hanover, which was one of Terry's best horses, raced in the 1973 Jug. And the granddaughter of the guy that owned Playboy Hanover contacted us at OHHA wondering if anybody had any memorabilia, newspaper articles, programs, anything, because almost everything that they had about the horse was lost.
Oh.
So she's trying to recreate it for her dad. So if anybody out there has anything about Playboy Hanover, let me know. We'll take copies or whatever that you have. I asked Jay Wolf about it, and he said that he thinks that he's got an extra program. But he also, Jay is kind of the, I don't want to call him a nerd, but I'm going to call him a nerd.
I hope he's watching.
Yeah, he collects all sorts of information.
Historian.
And he found 139 references to Playboy Hanover in the Columbus Dispatch.
Wow.
Files, the microfiche, or now it's all, he says it's all digital, so you can look up horses and drivers and everything, because the Columbus Dispatch used to put a lot of articles out.
And even outside of that, on a national scale, the New York Times. I remember when I was doing some research, maybe it was for our history, for something. It's been a couple years now, but it was some project with the OHHA, and actually, I think it was for maybe some Little Brown Jug stuff.
Oh, okay.
And maybe, I don't know if it was Stanley Dancer, somebody very well renowned in the harness racing world. When they passed away, the New York Times reported on it. Yeah.
Well, like I said, so if anybody has anything, let us know at the office. You can email it into info@ohha.com. That's our easiest email, so I think that's
I wouldn't have to spell out your long last name.
I know. It's easy. info@ohha. It'll eventually get to one of us.
Here's the bugle, the post parade of race 8. Freshman Philly Pacers, BSS, $20,000 once again on the line.
Horses are on the track for the 8th race. 2-year-old Philly Pace, 4th division for $20,000. The Trong Family Dentistry blanket. Field is 7 of 1 Seaside Angel, driven by Chris Page. 3 odds on equity, Brett Miller drives. 4 City of Fear, driven by Hank Levan. 5 She's As Well, Dan Noble. Number 7 is Lightning Fury, driven by Bo Brown. 6 Moonlight Ride, Cameron McCowan in the sulky. The 2 VH Goldie will be out shortly, but will race. The 2 VH Goldie will be out shortly.
Okay, let's take a closer look at these horses. Matt, I'm looking at these horses and thinking they look way bigger than 2-year-olds, don't they? Some of these horses.
A lot of them do.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
They're so big and strong looking. It's just, I don't know if you can see that on the broadcast, but boy, looking at them in real life, they are just great looking animals, that is for sure. So from the rail, we've got Seaside Angel. Chris Page will drive for Ron Steck. This is a down by the seaside out of Rock and Roll Heaven mare. Bootville Stables and Ron Steck are the owners. 2 starts on the year, 2 wins. Last win was in the Buckeye Stallion Series in 55-1. Start before that, won a 2-year-old non-winners of 1 race in 54-3 at Scioto Downs. Come in the last quarter, 27-3. VH Goldie, David Young II drives for Tim Van Horn. Tim also owns this Dancing Yankee filly. Out of a Rock and Roll Dance mare, Dancing Treasure. 4 starts, 4 wins. I mean, this horse has been racing really, really good. Lifetime mark is 157-3 at Piketon, which was the last start. Also won at Mount Vernon, Carrollton, and Wellston. Odds on equity and Brett Miller from the 3-hole for Virgil Morgan Jr. Odds on racing, Boca Raton, Florida. The owners, another down by the seaside, but this one out of a roll with Joe Mayer, Python Blue Chip. 2 starts on the year. Both of those were in the Buckeye Stallion Series. Finished 4th and 7th. City of Fear from the 4-hole with Hank Levan up. This horse is sitting 4th in the Buckeye Stallion Series point standings. Chad Williamson is the trainer. Claude Estel, the owner, a Fear the Dragon filly out of a Bettor's Delight mare, City Delight. 7 starts on the year, 3 wins, 2 seconds, and a third. Racing absolutely fantastic. 6 out of 7 for seconds or thirds. fastest win was 1:57.1 at Northfield Park. In the Buckeye Stallion Series, had a first and a fifth. From the 5, She's As Well, Dan Noble up for Dustin Pfeiffer. Paul Douglas Pfeiffer, the owner. This is a well-said filly out of a Real Desire mare as advertised. 5 starts on the year, 1 win. That was last start out at Athens in the fair in 2:05.3. Start before that was racing in the Ohio Sire Stakes and finished back, but did pace mile in 53.3. Lifetime mark is in a qualifier at Scioto, 55 flat. Moonlight Ride and Cam McCowan from the 6th hole for trainer Brian Brown. This is a down by the seaside out of a Sweet Lou mare, owned by Lehman, Stombaugh, Keith, and Strange Bedfellows. Has also had 2 starts in the Buckeye Stallion Series, finished 4th in both of those, pace mile in 56.3 and 57.2. Won a qualifier earlier at Delaware in 2 minutes and 3/5. And Lightning Fury and Bo Brown from the 2nd tier. Bo also trains this horse for Taddeo Selecani, T. Symes, T. Collins, and P. Taddeo. I'm sorry about those. I'm sure I did those really badly. This horse has had 1 start. That was in the Buckeye Stallion Series. That was up at Northfield. And finished back, pace mile in 2 minutes and 1/5. Had kind of a nice qualifier at Scioto before that. Was 3rd in that qualifier, pacing 57 at last quarter, 28.2. So there is your field. 7 in it.
And most of these horses have at least started in one leg of the Buckeye Stallion Series. The only one that I see that doesn't is our 2-horse VH Goldie. Has been quite a lot at the fairs and tearing it up at the fairs, right? Deserves to make that step up. But also the 5, She's As Well, is not started in the BSS because they were at the top tier, and the Ohio Sire Stakes started in both legs there. 1 at Scioto and 1 at Northfield. Say our tote board is not showing me. There we go. They like the 1, right? It says the 1 is 4 to 5 for good reason. coming off of a win in the BSS and actually looking to go 2 in a row.
Yep. 2 starts, 2 wins.
Yep. Good point.
The horses are headed behind the Webkenberg starting gate. Mike Webkenberg himself is here tonight. I didn't notice if his wife Becky was driving or not, but she usually is.
Oh my gosh, Becky, I called her Deb today. So sorry. I knew better than that too. My apologies. When I fed her a hot dog today on the backside, I said Deb. I was like, wait a minute, why did I call her that? And I knew better. Anyway, here we go. Field of 7 for the 8th.
Up and pacing out for the lead. BH Goldie to the inside. Seaside Angel. Field of Pacers into the turn. City of Fear comes out in 3rd. Odds on Equity racing 4th. She's As Well races 5th. Lightning Fury racing 6th. And Moonlight Ride trails the field. Straight alignment across the backside for the first time. BH Goldie shows the way. The 2-hole trip to Seaside Angel racing 3rd. City of Fear racing 4th is Odds on Equity. Pacing 5th. She's As Well. 6th is Lightning Fury and trailing the field. Moonlight Ride front to back. 8 to 9 lengths will separate these fillies by an opening quarter in 30 and 5th. BH Goldie shows the way. Nose to helmet. Seaside Angel and Chris Page racing 3rd. That's City of Fear. They passed the stand for the first time. Odds on Equity and Brent Miller moving to the outside. First up on the outside. Here comes Dan Noble with it. She's As Well. They race on over to the half, up on the outside. She's As Well to the front. VH Goldie is 2nd. Seaside Angel is 3rd. City of Fear racing 4th. Racing 5th is Odds on Equity. 6th to the outside. Moonlight Riding, drilling the field. Lightning Fury off a half in a minute and a 5th. Down the backside they go for the final time to the 3/4. We got a new leader. She's As Well and Noble lead the way by a length. VH Goldie is 2nd. Seaside Angel is 3rd. The pace quickens on the outside. City of Fear racing fourth, racing fifth, odds on equity. Moonlight Ride is sixth, and Lightning Fury is seventh and last as they move into the far turn. 3/4, 129 and 2. She's as well, and Dan Noble lead the way. They're off the turn. They're on their way home. BH Goldie is second. Seaside Angel is third. City of Fear fourth. Through the lane they pace, coming to the line. She's as well. Dan Noble gets his second on the card. BH Goldie home second, third. Seaside Angel fourth to complete the super City of Fear. $157,1.
Nice mile. Nice easy move there for Dan Noble, and She's as well right before the half. I mean, wicked fast. That got the crowd excited.
It did. I mean, kind of took advantage of that, what I'm going to say a slow half. I mean, a minute and a fifth to the half was a slow half because, boy, She's as well just smoked him.
I was still impressed with our 2-horse. Went off 7-2, but this horse has been racing at fairs and fairs only on a streak, right? Has won 4 for 4, but definitely deserved that step up. But it's hard, you know. It's completely different company. You didn't know what you were going to be up against, but he stuck on her back nicely
and did what she usually does. VH Goldie was right to the top. I mean, there's all sorts of ones in her past performance line. So, but She's as well just flew by.
Right.
It was kind of cool to see right in front of us because you could really tell how fast she was going.
Dan Noble back for his third win of the evening.
Moving into the winner's circle. You win the 8 race. The 4th division of the 2-year-old filly pace Buckeye Stallion Series for $20,000. Sponsored by Latrong Family Dentistry. Number 5, She's as well. She's a 2-year-old bay filly, but well set out of the Real Desire mare. As advertised, she picks up her second career win. She's owned by Paul Douglas Pfeiffer of Waverly, Ohio. Dustin Pfeiffer trains Dan Noble in the sulky. Danny gets his second winner on the card here at the Champaign County Fair. $157,1 for the winner. She's as well.
Who is watching
Here's the way they
from
finished.
Italy.
The 8, number 1, Seaside Angel 3. 2 BH Goldie 2, the 3 odds on equity 5. 4 City of Fear 4, 5 She's as well, the winner. Number 6 Moonlight Ride 6, the 7 Lightning Fury 7. The time 157-1. 30 and a fifth, a minute and a fifth, 129 and 2. 325, 4, 1, 6, 7 on the bottom. 9th race is up next. Scratch the 3 odds on Mr. X. Scratch number 3 odds on Mr. X.
Official for the 8th. Danny Noble gets a triple on the card. Up next, we do have a scratch in race 9. Odds on Mr. X, leaving from the 3rd post position, is a scratch. That means we will have a field of 5. Everybody's going to go home with a check.
Our shortest field of the day.
It is by far our shortest field of the day. 2-year-old Colt Pacers once again up next. Join us back here after a brief message.
Hi, I'm Dean Gillespie, and I want to tell you about the Ohio Colt Racing Association. There's 19 member fairs, and they sponsor the partial futurity in Greenville, Ohio. You need to race in the OCRA. Great racetracks, great people. Bring the kids and come out to the fair, and remember, fair time is fun time.
Dublin Valley Farms, home of Volstead, sire of 2024 Ohio Horse of the Year, Sugar Instead. Also standing at Dublin Valley Farms, Slay, a promising young son of Chapter 7 and Coach K Hanover by world record holder Walner. Looking for your next winner? Dublin Valley Farms and our clients are offering an exciting lineup of yearlings with current and fashionable pedigrees, available at public auctions this year. Backed by a team that cares, Dublin Valley Farms, Fredericksburg, Ohio.
This September, the thrill returns to Delaware, Ohio. It's the Little Brown Jug. World-class harness racing, heart-pounding action, and unforgettable fun. Join the tradition. Feel the roar. Be a part of history. We have several hospitality and ticket options, including the new Jug Social Club. Please visit littlebrownjug.com or call 1-800-DEL-FAIR. The Little Brown Jug, where champions are crowned.
We're going to need some lights in this grandstand pretty soon. Cause I don't know
we got to turn on our flashlights on our phones.
We're going to have to because it's getting a little bit hard to see the program.
Well, even I was telling Sam yesterday we had 15 at Chillicothe, and I was like, listen, you keep doing more of these, you'll notice that I get about 8 to 10 races in, and my eyes will even start to go on me because this is small. Like, we have a program just like everybody else, especially when you're trying to read, breeding and all of the shortened breeders and owners. It gets a little jumbly in there, especially when it gets dark.
Is that really an interference brake or inside the pylons? What is that?
Yep.
What is that little thing? I was wondering what would happen if we printed them on 11x17 sheets. We have really big ones sitting here.
Susan, this is your only night at Urbana, isn't it?
Yes.
Where are you headed next?
I don't have a fair tomorrow, and then I go to Attica.
Attica
for 2 days. Tom Pye and I for 2 days in Attica.
Gotcha. I am joined by
Croton, I think.
Oh, I can't think that far out.
Yeah.
Listen, I just know. Actually, Urbana's my only one this week. I don't have anything on Thursday, Friday, but I am joined by Jay Wolf the next couple of days, so I'm excited about. I don't get to work with Jay very much.
Yeah. He is a wealth of knowledge. I mean, he just comes up with stuff. Holy, how do you remember that? He's kind of like Matt Clark. Matt does the same thing. He'll bring up, in 1987, this horse raced at Raceway Park, and, he knows all that stuff. It's really fun to have people around you that know that stuff.
I can remember. There are some like, oh, my mom even thinks I'm crazy. If I'm like, oh yeah, didn't Brian Brown have that horse as a 2-year-old? She's like, what? How do you know that? Some of them stick in my head, but some of them really do not.
Don't. Yeah.
For the 9th race, 2-year-old colt and gelding pace, Buckeye Stallion Series for $20,000. This the 5th division. Number 1 is Thunder Nation, driven by Kevin Wolf. Here's a 4. Here's Ledger. Cameron McCown drives. Number 5 is Prince of Fire, Austin Hanners. 2, Win Lottie with Ronnie Gillespie. Number 6 is Wagon Day. King Coppin in the sulky. Scratch number 3, odds on Mr.
So, seeing that post parade in front of us, I think it was off air, but we were talking amongst ourselves when Frank was here. It's like, wow, it's hard to believe, look at these things, that they're 2-year-olds. Yeah. And I think that post parade, there was a few of them that were a great example of that. That horse that Ronnie's on, they're just so big.
Yeah.
And they're just so developed so early on.
And every one of these horses has made his last 2 starts in the Buckeye Stallion Series. So
it could be a toss-up.
Could be.
We have Kevin Wolf trains and drives the 1 Thunder Nation. This is a gelding by Western Vintage out of an Arts Place mare owned by Kevin. A Wolf Racing Stable of East Liberty, Ohio, has hit the board in all 4 lifetime starts. Has been knocking on the door in the Buckeye. So first start up with Northfield in the BSS was second by just a neck in 157. And then recently at Scioto, although was third by a couple lengths back, went in 152 and 4. Almost $12,000 made for the $6,000 purchase out of the Buckeye.
Ronnie Gillespie trains, drives, and owns the 2 Win Loud, a summa cum laude out of a Racing Hill mare. Horse was sold at Ohio Selected Sale for $22,000. Had a couple of nice qualifiers, both of them at Scioto 58, and then come back in 55 and 2, and then started in the 2 Buckeye Stallion Series. Did have a third at the one at Northfield, pacing in 57 and 1.
Our 3 is a scratch. Our 4 horse, Cam McCowan, up for Jess McCowan. Here's Ledger. This is a bit of a legend gelding out of a coast-to-coast Yankee mare. 3 lifetime starts with 1 second place finish, and that was, you guessed it, in the Buckeye Stallion Series. The very first leg up at Northfield Park was second in 156 and 1. But although he was 5th in the most recent BSS, still put up a mile in 153 and 4. So almost $7,000 made.
The 5, Austin Hanner, drives Prince of Fire for Todd Luther and Greg Luther. Another Catch the Fire out of a Jate Lobel mare, Palazzo Princess. Two most recent starts were both in the Buckeye Stallion Series. Finished second last start out, paces mile in 53 and 3. Had a third place at the race at the Meadows. Excuse me, I'm kind of losing it here. Started at the Meadows in a maidens, had third, pacing 55 and 1.
Rounding out the field, but not from the second tier. This is going to be the far outside. Our 6 horse is Wagon Day. Kane Kaufman up for Mike Paul Hamus. This is a summa cum laude. 3 lifetime starts with 1 win, and that was last start out at Scioto in the Buckeye Stallion Series. 153 and 3, final quarter in 28. Got away 7th after leaving from the 7th post position. It just looked like he fired home quite a bit. Won by a nose. Over $10,000 made for Wagon Day. In that race specifically, I guess I just caught this, he was a long shot winner by far in his last start. Went off 81 to 1.
Oh, wow.
Maybe he'll get a little bit more respect now on our, he is currently sitting 2 to 1 for our betting public here.
Steve Bateson was on the broadcast with us at Bowling Green, and we got talking about the Buckeye Stallion Series. It was kind of his brainstorm, and I said, did you ever think it would be this popular? And he said he thought it would. There was a need for it. There was a definite need between the fairs and the sire stakes, but for it to be as popular as it is and have so many divisions every time that it is at any track, there's just a lot of divisions, and it certainly has been popular.
Say sometimes we have up to 7 divisions at one go. To say you're the one making all the trophy bags, you would know that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Scratch down to a field of 5 2-year-old Colt Pacers. Race 9. Doug Ballinger with the call.
Off stride before the start, the 2 Win Lotte. They're off then, pacing. That's Thunder Nation going right out to the front. Coming out in second. Here's Ledger as they race into the turn. Racing third is Prince of Fire up the backside. Going on over to the opening quarters, down the backside. Racing there next is Wagon Day. Trailing the field. Win Lotte down the backside there in straight alignment. We got a new leader. Here's Ledger and Cam McCowan. Giving way second is Thunder Nation. Racing third, Prince of Fire. Then next is Wagon Day, and trailing the field, Win Lotte through an opening quarter and 28 and 1. They race around the turn, passing the stands first time, coming to the half. Here's Ledger. Cam McCowan show the way. Thunder Nation is second. Prince of Fire third. Wagon Day fourth. When Lottie trails the field. No movement as yet to go after the leader, and the leader is, here's Ledger. Racing second is Thunder Nation. First to move on the outside. Here comes Prince of Fire with Austin Hanners in tow. Wagon Day is second over. Around the turn, Thunder Nation to the inside at the half. 57 seconds. Down the backside of the three-quarter mark they go. Showing the way. Here's Ledger by a length. Right there, second is Thunder Nation. Here comes Wagon Day on the outside. He was fourth. He's now third. He's now second with a lot of pace on the outside. Wagon Day is after the leader. Here's Ledger. They're into the far turn. Here's Ledger and Wagon Day up on the outside. Hot three-quarters, 127. Off the turn, Wagon Day has the lead for Coppin. Thunder Nation on the outside. Here's Ledger. Less than an eighth of a mile to pace. Wagon Day through the lane. Thunder Nation. Here's Ledger coming to the line. On the line, it is Wagon Day and King Coppin. Second to one, Thunder Nation. Home third. Here's Ledger. $157.
157 flat. Wagon Day. What did I say when I introduced him? Said hopefully gets a little bit more respect on the board. He had a great last start out, although he went off 81-1 at Scioto Downs and proved why he was a winner at last start. That was an easy swoop on the backside. That was a whole new gear. When Kane asked, Wagon Day responded.
The two-horse Win Lottie made a break behind the gates, kind of took him out of contention right away.
I do have 6-1-4-5 unofficial across the wire. Cam McGowan wanted the front and did get the front. And I think here's Ledger just got a little tired there. And Thunder Nation put in a good go, too. I was hoping Kevin might pull him a little bit quicker just to give him some more racing room. But, I mean, he didn't have a shot when Wagon Day wanted it. Yeah, it was a very easy shift in gear for that horse. Wagon Day, that is the second win in a row and the second lifetime win in just 4 starts there. Reminder, trained by Mike Paul Hamus. That is a summa cum laude. Getting a lot of those in the winner's circle, aren't we?
We are.
All the way across the board, not just here in the mid-tier.
Right. That horse has been, like I said, there was 17 summa cum laudes in tonight. 15 down by the Seasides and 14 catch the fire.
Really? So we had more summa cum laudes and Seasides. Wow.
Yes.
This is Kane's first win of the evening.
Here's your winner. The 9th race. Number 6, Wagon Day. Gio Bega Lucena Zumba Kalade out of the Western Spirit Mare, Western Mandy. Home with Julie Farley, Brantford, Ohio. Mike Paul Hamus trains. King Kaufman in the sulky. The mile, 157. Second career win for Wagon Day. This race sponsored by Weidman. Here's the way they finished the 9th race, number 1 Thunder Nation 2. The 2 win Lotte 5, 3 was scratch, 4 here's Ledger 3. 5 Prince of Fire 4, the 6 Wagon Day the winner. The time 157, fractions of 28 and 1. 57, 127, 2-5 scratch, 3-4, 1 on the bottom. 10th is up next. You have Win Place Show.
Someone mentioned there's beautiful grounds in Midway area, and it is here at. It's so nice because on the track, I mean, yeah, there's a few cars there from the officials and so forth, but it's a good sight line from here. You know, there's no big obstructions in the infield, which is always really nice.
Turning the page, race 10 of 11. This is the penultimate. Oh my gosh, where did the night go? I really could. We always say it as a joke. It's like, oh, I could do 16 more. No, I actually could do quite a few more this evening. I'm having a lot of fun. We've had great racing, but the penultimate up next. Race 10, the last division, should be the last division of 2-year-old filly pacers in the BSS. This is a full field of 8s. We'll have 2 start from the second tier. If you're following along in the program, I only have 1 change so far, and it's going to be on horse 6. Hank Levan will now drive, but we will dive deeper after a brief message from our sponsors.
Midland Acres is proud to stand the prominent stallions, TCI, Long Tom, Ready for Money, Monty Mickey, Summa Cum Laude, and Bit of a Legend. With such great pedigree and speed in the stallion barn, Midland Acres will provide a diverse group of top yearlings in the sale ring for 2025. Visit us this fall at our consignments at the Blooded Horse Sale on August 26th, the Ohio Select Jug Sale on September 12th, and the Lexington Select Sale on September 29th through October 3rd. Let Midland Acres' experience in the industry lead you to the winner's circle.
For over 100 years, the values at CoverLink Insurance have been clear. Do the right thing. These values have been at the forefront of what we do, and that will never change. At CoverLink Insurance, you're a person, not a policy. Whether you raise crops, livestock, or own the family farm, CoverLink's farm insurance can be tailored to meet your needs. Trusted advice and solutions to protect what matters most. Great service from great people, CoverLink Insurance. The future is bright in Ohio. Ohio Sire Stakes, Buckeye Stallion Series, 66 county and independent fairs. Whether it's the Ohio Sire Stakes, the Buckeye Stallion Series, or the county fairs, Ohio has a place for your racehorse. This year, Ohio breds are racing for nearly $23 million in stakes purses. Be part of the winning. Breed, buy, race, win in Ohio.
Now we are good and headed into race 10 of the evening. First racing card of the Urbana Fair. We do race 3 days in a row. So once we get wrapped up here, join myself and Jay Wolf on air the next 2 days. Post time is always 6:30 p.m. But of course, Urbana is not the only fair. Susan, you said you got the day off tomorrow.
Yep, but we are going to be at Berea. That is a long card. It's all in one, so start at 4 o'clock from Berea. And Wednesday and Thursday at Jefferson, the Ashtabula County Fair. Always a nice fair up there, 11:30 a.m. For post time for both cards there. Sue Stockwell. Been racing a lot of horses, so I'm not sure how she has time, but she always makes time to be the speed superintendent up there. Does a great job. And then we go to Attica on Wednesday the 6th and Thursday the 7th, post time at noon both of those days. And the Croton Friday and Saturday again at noon. So a lot of racing coming up. It's going to be this way for a while. I think there's 1 or 2 days in August that do not have any racing.
So we say that, busy season for us really starts kind of May, really, by the time we shoot. Matt's a lot in this conversation time. We shoot a lot of our pre-recorded things. But the busy season is August and September for us, for sure. It's very rare for us not to have multiple fairs in a day, and there are lots of 3 fairs in a single day, and then we've got a couple with 4. We've got all of our teams out for those.
Those are the hard ones to cover all 4.
Right. And if you're ever, while we're kind of waiting for our post parade. If you ever can't find us on Facebook, please remember to go over to our YouTube. It is going to be the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association YouTube page. Those will always be live for you. We apologize. We know that Facebook has been a staple since we began broadcasting in 2020, but there are some things out of our control that Facebook made based on just business decisions on their own part. And while we are working to have a full-time solution, if you ever can't find us on Facebook, head on over to the OHHA YouTube. And truthfully, that seems to be the more stable platform anyway when it comes to internet, sound. For whatever reason, things way above my head and my pay grade. Yeah. YouTube is just made for long-form content, and that's what we're doing here.
And you can sit in your recliner and put it on your TV. Pretty cool.
Makes for a good night.
Yeah.
This is a very full field here. We're going to have 2 trailers. It's a field of 8 for our 2-year-old filly pacers. This is going to be the final division. Susan, have you been keeping track of divisions? Who has given us the fastest for our fillies this far?
I have not.
I think it was our first division in 155 and 4.
Yeah.
So in race 2 was a stride for stride, and I think was 155 and 4 would have been our fastest of the fillies.
Yeah, and that being a new track record for 2-year-old fillies.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I have the next 2 races. I have some rooting interest. My mom's got 2 in. In this race, we've got the 5 I Want Mo. She was a $1,500 purchase. Mom kind of just went on a whim. She said no one was bidding on her, and I went for it. And she's turned into a nice little horse for us. But I can go into detail once we introduce her because Doug's going to cut me off with the sound of the bugle.
Horses are on the track for the 10th race, the 5th division of the 2-year-old filly pace Buckeye Stallion Series for $20,000. IH Credit Union blanket, and these are the horses. Number 1 is L. Woods, driven by Brett Miller. Here's the 2, Skimming the Sand, Ronnie Gillespie. Chris Page, the 3, Odds on Dividend. Number 4, Billboard Model with King Kaufman. 5, I Want Mo, Trevor Smith drives. Number 6, Sabine Sapienza with Hank Levan. 7, It's Not Your Turn, Austin Hanners. And number 8, Standarosa, Tyler Smith in her sulky.
On the rail, Brett Miller up for Matthew Burkholder. L. Woods started in both of the Buckeye Stallion Series. Has just been out of the money. However, 3 lifetime starts. Did have a second place finish up at Northfield, and 2-year-old non-winners of 1 and 157 and 2. This is a filly by Summa Cum Laude, originally a $29,000 purchase.
Skimming the Sand and Ronnie Gillespie from the 2-hole for trainer Ryan Miller. Miller Racing Stable, Doc Gilbert, and Hutchinson Harness are the owners. This is a Down by the Seaside filly out of a Dragon Again mare. A $30,000 purchase at the Ohio Selected Sale. Did win her last start out at Wapakoneta in 59 and 4. Finished 4th in the Buckeye Stallion Series, pacing in 57 and 4.
Odds on Dividend, Chris Page up for Virgil Morgan Jr. This is a Down by the Seaside owned by Odds on Racing of Florida. Another one that is knocking on the door in the BSS. 2 starts, both starts in the Buckeye have been in second. She's timed both of those miles in actually exactly the same time, 157 and 2, both starts up there at Northfield. $10,000 made for her.
King Kaufman drives and trains the 4 Billboard Model, a Catch the Fire out of a Racing Hill mare. This is owned by Redline Racing Stable, Red Racer LLC, and David Van Dusen. This horse has had 3 starts on the year, 2 starts in the Buckeye Stallion Series. Last start was 6th, and the time before that finished 2nd in 57 and 1.
Our 5-horse I Want Mo, Trevor Smith up for my mom, Kim Daly, who also owns this filly by Fool Me Once out of a Mach 3 mare. 5 lifetime starts. She's hit the board with just 1 third place finish at Scioto Downs, but that was timed in 1:55 and 3, final quarter in 28. Did have a single start in the Buckeye Stallion Series. I believe it was a second leg up there at Northfield. She was on fire and got choked down, so that's what you're going to see there in the lines. Recently at Xenia, she had a 4th place finish. This filly's a little hard to control. She's she wants more. She's kind of on fire. And there in her last start, we had her with an ear hood and something else in her mouth. It was just a little too much, so we kind of opened her back up today and hope that does the trick.
Sabine Sapina from the 6-hole, Hank Levan up for Thomas Verney. Thomas and Tammy Ackley are the owners of this Summa Cum Laude filly out of a Dragon Again mare. 2 starts on the year, 2 wins. Last win was at Marysville in 2-2-4, and also won a 2-year-old non-winners of 1 parimutuel race in Northfield in 59.
It's Nacho Turn. Austin Hanners for Todd Luther, owned by Greg Luther Racing of Blacklick, Ohio. Another Summa Cum Laude. You guys got to be tired of me saying that, right? 6 lifetime starts with 4 wins, over $11,000 made, and a lifetime mark set over at the Meadows in 156-2. Last start out in the Buckeye was 5th and 156-1, actually.
And Standarosa from the 8-hole for driver Tyler Smith. Ty Loy is the trainer for David Wills. This is the Pandarosa out of a Stand Forever mare. 2 starts in the Buckeye Stallion Series, a 2nd and a 3rd. Start before those Buckeyes was in a condition race at Scioto. Did pace in 55-3.
This is going to be a very full field with 2 trailers. I hope that works out the best that it possibly can for our freshmen. Earlier in the card, we did have a couple breakers starting from that 2nd tier. It's a new experience.
Yep, a lot of them have never been there before.
Who does our betting? Oh my gosh, I can't even see the tote board. My eyes are really starting to go here. Looks like we have our 7 is sitting 3-1, and it's getting blurry for me. I think they like the 7, 3-1. It's Nacho Turn for good reason. 6 starts, 4 wins. Let's see if she can do it here in the Buckeye Stallion here tonight. Doug Ballinger, the call at 10th, field of 8.
They're up and pacing, going for the lead. That's Skimming the Sand on the inside. Elwoods comes out in 2nd. Up on the outside, Odds On Dividend and Chris Page gonna take a tuck as they move into the turn. 2nd tier start. It's a Nacho Turn. Well placed is 4th as they hit up the backside. Followed by Standarosa. Then it's Billboard Model down the backside. I Want Mo is 2nd to last and 8th and last as they head up the backside. Sabine Sapionza down the backside to the opening quarter. Skimming the Sand, Gillespie show the way. Nose to helmet, Odds On Dividend and Page racing 3rd as they race around the turn. Elwoods by the opening quarter and 29 2/5 around the turn. Racing 4th as it's Nacho Turn. Pacing 5th around the turn and moving to the outside as they come on over to the halfway point. At the half and up on the outside, Elwoods, they pass the stand for the first time. The outer flow begins to develop on the front end at the half, showing the way. Skimming the Sands up on the outside. Tyler Smith and Standarosa locked in, nowhere to go. Odds On Dividend is 3rd as they race around the turn. Up on the outside, Billboard Model off a half and 59-4. Down the backside they go. It's Nacho Turn buried to the inside. Moving to the outside, I Want Mo, 4 in, 4 out, midpoint of the backside. They're all chasing, Skimming the Sand on the outside. Standarosa, nowhere to go for Page and Odds On Dividend. They're into the far turn. They're by 3/4, and Skimming the Sand has got every call on the outside. Standarosa is 2nd, off 3/4, 129-3 around the turn. Billboard Model begging for room is Odds On Dividend as they come to the top of the stretch. They're off the turn. They're on their way home. On the lead, it's Skimming the Sands. The outside is Standarosa coming to the line. It is Standarosa. Very tight. It may have been Odds On Dividend up for 2nd. In the hunt was Billboard Model. Very tight. It'll be a photo all the way. For the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th positions, the mile 159-1.
159-1. Not our fastest division of the night, but our most interesting race, would we say?
Very exciting finish. I mean, I Standarosa looked like he won, but boy, I couldn't tell anything after that.
Todd's got our feed pulled up to see where he finished in there. Yeah, he just turned on Urbana so he could rewind it and see where he ended up.
And that was tough. I mean, what do you call it when I mean, it's a blanket finish, sure.
Yes.
What did they say? 8 in a photo.
Wow.
Jeez. But when you have 6 of the 8 horses within a neck of each other.
Mm-hmm.
So the quarters went a little bit slower than I expected them to. I got to the opener in 29 and 2, half in 59 and 4, 3 quarters in 129 and 3, and of course our final mile time was 159 and 1. That is Tyler Smith's second win of the evening. It'll be the first for trainer Ty Loy.
First win of its life.
8374 is unofficial. 8374.
Would you believe me if I said I called that?
In the winner's circle,
written
the winner
down.
of the 10th, 5th Division 2-year-old filly pace Buckeye Stallion Series for $20,000. Number 8, Standarosa. The 2-year-old bay filly by the Pandarosa out of the stand Forever Mare, still standing. David B. Willis, Granville, Ohio owns. Ty Loy trains. Tyler Smith gets his second winning drive of the evening. Standarosa home in 159 and 1. Blanket by IH Credit Union. Top.
I think we'll have the rundown for you in just a minute. Brad Conrad out there working hard, taking the pictures.
That one's going to pay nice. I think did the 8 horse go off 18 to 1? Is that what that says?
He's 18 to 1.
18 to 1.
Wow.
Oh, that's a little bit of an old breeding. That filly's by the Pandarosa out of a stand Forever Mare.
Yeah. Number 2, Skimming the Sand, 6. Number 3, Odds on Dividend, 2. The 4, Billboard Model, 4. Number 5, I Want Mo, 7. The 6, Sabine Sapienza, 8. Number 7, It's Nacho Turn, 3. And number 8, Standarosa, the winner, 159 and 1. Fractions, 29 and 2. The half, 59 and 4. 3 quarters paced in 129 and 3. Rechecking 562, 478, 3, 1 on the bottom. 11th and final.
That is the first win that we have had from second tier, isn't it?
I believe so.
So, hey, it's not impossible.
Nope.
Listen, I fall victim to this a lot of, if we just could have drew the inside, or, if we just could have, But there was, when your horse is the best, your horse is just simply the best, right?
Absolutely. I'm looking down at the crowd here still on the apron, and we really haven't lost much of the crowd, I don't think. There's
not at all.
Still a lot of people here staying for the end.
Looks like they're still betting away, and the windows pays $38.20 to win. The try paid, wow, my eyes are really going. That's horrible. $368, I think it says. Oh, flip for me. I know they didn't have a super. They did have a super on that race. The super was 8 all for $90.
We only have 2 prizes left, and we're giving them.
Joe said he was 18 to 1. Jay Wolf is watching from the road home from Mansfield.
Jay, did you hear Susan call you a nerd earlier?
Harness racing history nerd.
I'd also like to mention that I had a pork wrap today with bacon, so Jay will have that to look forward to tomorrow. That's one of his go-tos at the Champaign County Fair.
So, like a pork strips in there and bacon?
It's like a pork chop, 2 pork chops and bacon.
Whoa. Okay.
You guys have to go get a milkshake from the Rotary Barn.
Think that'll still be open?
It should be. Yeah, our fair doesn't close until about 11, so they should be. We got one race left, and I guess that's a perfect leeway.
Yeah.
We are up to the 11th and final, the 6th and final division, of course, of the Colt Pacers. Field of 7. Join us back here shortly.
In Ohio, Hickory Lane Farm has the stallions you are looking for, like What the Hill, Uncle Peter, and In Range, as well as Branded by Lindy, Jug Winner Luz Pearlman, Racing Hill, and Guardian Angel Oz. Hickory Lane will offer a host of Ohio sired yearlings this fall, including 6 by In Range, 5 by Uncle Peter, 4 by Guardian Angel Oz, and 1 by What the Hill. Find out more at hickorylanefarm.com.
At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year, providing advanced specialty care for sports horses from all stages and disciplines. Our expert team of boarded surgeons and sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sports horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at BigD'sWeb.com. Sign up for text messaging and receive $10 off your order. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Thanks for joining us all evening long. We've hoped you've enjoyed the broadcast and the racing as much as we have. It really has. This is, again, I'm biased, I know it, but this has been one of my favorite nights by far. We've had great racing, great weather, and a very nice crowd to fit in with all that.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun here, and you can just tell it's nice to see these Buckeye Stallions horses here at a fair, I think. Kind of nice.
And this was the first year the Trotters. Was it Colt Trotters? It was Colts, wasn't it? Or was it Phillies? Philly Trotters went to Bucyrus earlier for their very first leg. Bucyrus held it a handful of years ago, took some years off, and I think they, despite some challenges with weather, held a great card too.
Yeah, they sure did. It's all these fairs try so hard when they get bad weather. There's nothing they can do about that, but they try so hard to get these tracks into shape and get us still racing.
I do believe all of our horses are out. The entire field of 7 is already out for race. There we go. For race 11. Looks like we have some getting in position to post-parade in order. Hopefully we'll see that in this one. Here's Doug.
Horses are on the track for the 11th race. Teal Colt Pace 6 Division. Buckeye Stallions Series $20,000. Blanket by Orbis. Field is 7. Justin Irvine drives is 7. Number 1 is Odds on Mace, driven by Chris Page. Number 2, here's a Diamond Stud. Cam McCowan drives. Number 3, My Boy Pink, driven by Ronnie Gillespie. The 4 is Rose Run Balance with Trevor Smith. 5, Gypsy's Brother. Tyler Smith drives. 6, Ain't No Fire with Dan Noble. Second tier start for the 7, highest honors, Justin Irvine in the sulky. Horse to take one.
Susan, would you like to kick us off?
I will. From the rail, we have Odds on Maze with Chris Page up for Virgil Morgan Jr. Odds on Racing, Boca Raton owns this. Down by the Seaside Colt. It's out of a Better Than Cheddar mare, Better Than Graduate. Has had 2 starts in the Buckeye Stallion Series. Didn't fare really well in those. And had 3 qualifiers before that. Did win one of those qualifiers at Scioto in 56-4.
Cameron McCown up for Jess McCowan. Here's a Diamond Stud owned by I thought it was changed. Here's the stock. Bucyrus, Ohio, and Leanne Carroll of Miami. Wow, my eyes are going.
It is getting hard.
Oh, apologies to that one. Miamisburg, Ohio. This is another summa cum laude gelding. 3 lifetime starts with 1 win, and that was in the very first leg up at Northfield in that BSS. Went wire to wire in 1:55-4, but actually timed an even better mile in the last leg of the BSS at Scioto in 1:53-1, although it had a 4th place finish there.
Ronnie Gillespie drives and trains My Boy Pink for owner Samuel Bowie. This is a Catch the Fire out of a Western Terror mare. Last start was in the Buckeye Stallion Series, did finish third, pace mile in 56-1. But the start before that at Scioto in a 2-year-old non-winners of one, won that race in 53-1, coming home 28-2. So it also won at the very first fair of the year. That was like months and months ago. Won at Paulding in 2-2-3.
Our 4-horse is Rose Run Balance. Trevor Smith once again up for Kim Daly. This is a lather up out of a Western Terror mare owned by Jerry Zozelle and my mom, Kim. 2 lifetime starts with 1 third place finish, and that came recently at Xenia in 202-1. This horse actually, we were a little bit higher on him all winter long than we were the Pet Rock Colt that just won the Ohio State Fair over the weekend. So he's taken a step down from the Sire Stakes up at Northfield, just racing 1 leg there, had a 6th place finish, but it was in 1:56-3, final quarter 27-4.
Gypsy's Brother with Tyler Smith up for Herman Hagerman, and Herman also owns this colt. It's by Racing Hill out of Badlands. Hanover mare has had race at Mount Vernon last start, finished third, pacing 2-1-4, but did have a 56-4 mile in a qualifier at Scioto Downs.
Ain't No Fire, a Catch the Fire colt trained by Thomas Litt. Dan Noble will get the dry. 5 lifetime starts, has hit the board in 4 of those, including 2 wins. One of those did come a little bit back in a condition Northfield in 1:56, but recently, last start out in the Buckeye at Scioto, third by less than a length. Very tight finish. 1:53-2. Final quarter in 28. $9,000 made for this colt.
And from the second tier, Highest Honors with Justin Irvine up for trainer Jason McGinnis and the stable Highest Honors group. This is a summa cum laude out of a Western Hanover mare, Northwest Hanover. Did start in the Buckeye Stallion Series. The last 2 starts was 5th and a 3rd, but 3 starts back, they thought very highly of this colt. Put him in the next generation. Finished 7th, only back 3 3/4 length. Pace in 52-4. Last quarter 27-3.
This is a group of colts. I think if we're going to break a track record, this group can do it. We have, 4 of the 7 have gone in 53 or faster, and the other 2 have gone in 56.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this one. I hope this is a good one that closes us off. 7-horse, of course, starts from the second tier. Everybody else will be on the gate.
I'll stride before the start to 3. My boy Pank, they're up and pacing for the lead. Ain't No Fire, Dan Noble coming out in second is on Mace. Second tier start for Honest Honors comes out in third. Racing fourth as they race around the turn. Rose Run Balance up the inside is Gypsy's Brother. Racing second to last down the backside. And trailing the field. My boy Pank, straight alignment going to the opening quarter, loose in the front end. Ain't No Fire leads away by 4. Odds on Mace is next in second. Highest Honors racing third. Racing fourth as they race by the opening quarter and move into the turn. Going on over to the 3/8 mark is Rose Run Balance, opening quarter, 29-4 as they race around the turn. Here's a Diamond Stud racing next by the 3/8. They pass the stand for the first time. Ain't No Fire has the lead. Racing second as they come on over to the halfway point. Odds on Mace. Third is Highest Honors, and Highest Honors is out and on the move for Justin Irvine. Picking up that cover. Here's a Diamond Stud on the outside, racing to the inside 5th. Rose Run Balance racing 6th to the outside. Gypsy's Brother and My Boy Pank trails the field. 59-3 down the backside for the final time. Ain't No Fire with the lead by a length. Right there second. Highest Honors will need room. Moving to the outside is Odds on Mace as he race down the backside of the 3/4 mark. with the lead. It is Ain't No Fire up the inside. Odds on Mace. Highest Honors on the outside. Still coming around the far turn at the 3/4 mark. On the outside, here's a Diamond Stud off 3/4, 128-1. Ain't No Fire. Noble trying to take them all the way up the inside. Odds on Mace. Highest Honor is third. They're off the turn. They're on their way home through the lane. Ain't No Fire coming to the line. Ain't No Fire gives Dan Noble his third on the card. Home second. Odds on Mace third. The 2. Here's a Diamond Stud. 157-3.
157-3. I stand here corrected. I think our fastest for the Colts was it 56? I think that was. Our very first race was our fastest for the Colt divisions tonight, in 56 flat. But 157-3 for Ain't No Fire. Dan Noble had something in mind.
He did. He
was going to make sure it happened. And really, if you look back, this Colt was racing off the front at the fairs. Took a different approach for his last 2 starts in the Buckeye. Still got good checks there, but he was winning wire to wire at the fairs, and I think that just Dan Noble did what Dan Noble does, and read the lines on that one.
Go to the front.
I think it was 6-1-2-7 across the wire.
This looks like he's having a hard time still slowing him down there. He doesn't want to stop.
2-7, your superfecta numbers. That is unofficial.
6-1-2-7.
Moving back to the winner's circle. Your winner of the 11th race, 2-year-old Colt Base Buckeye Stallion Series. The 6th division for $20,000, sponsored by Orbis. Number 6, Ain't No Fire. The 2-year-old Bay Colt by Catch the Fire. Out of the All-American Native Mare, Ain't No Trouble. Third of the season for Ain't No Fire. Alba CT Stables, John Ackley. HK&M Racing. Reinhardt Racing. Thomas Litt trains. Dan Noble gets his 3rd winning drive of the evening here at the Champaign County Fair. Blanket by Orbis. The 6th, Ain't No Fire. Dan Noble to take the 6th division Buckeye Stallion Series for 2-year-old Pacers.
Waiting for that official rundown, but I think I'm going to correct Doug, and that was Dan's
Number
4th
one, on Mace 2. Number 2, here's a Diamond Stud 3. The 3, My Boy Pank 6. 4, Rose Run Balance 5. 5, Gypsy's Brothers 7. The 6, Ain't No Fire, the winner. Number 7, Highest Honors 4. 157-3, 29-4, 59-3, 128-1. 236, 571, 4 on the bottom. Well, that wraps up a great racing.
That does it. 11 in the books for the Buckeye Stallion Series. Our 2-year-old Pacers really gave us a show tonight.
They absolutely did. There was a lot of great Colts out here, Colts and fillies out here. Really, such a nice night of racing. This is the kind of county fair that you want to have racing at, that's for sure.
And if you've got nothing going on the next 2 days, come out. We're kind of central. I would say we're pretty central Ohio, about an hour west of Columbus and about an hour, east of Dayton is where we're located, and you're more than welcome. Hey, we invite you out.
Not too late to get your passports. There's still a lot of racing to go.
That's true.
Pick up your passport here from Ashley to next couple of days, and for Matt Clark, Ashley Daly, and myself, Susan Schroeder, wish you a very good night.